Nightcore, you probably know better than I would about that, to be honest. You know, I game, but I only have so much time for specific games, and honestly, like, anything that leans more like Japanese, I am not super knowledgeable about. I tend to defer to other people on those. Yeah, reading a lot does tend to, I don't know, it kind of takes away from certain games, which is crazy because I like subtitles on. So I usually do a lot of the games that I have to read rather than listen to, or at least I'll skim through the subtitles instead of just, you know, listening to the lines. Because, I mean, think about it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has a massive script. I don't have time for every single line, so I will kind of like skip through them quickly and kind of like read ahead of the dialogue. So you're a bit picky on your games. I think anybody who values their time and their money is going to be a little picky about their games. Nothing wrong with that. All right, guys. Well, happy Monday. We are going to get caught up on a lot of like the news headlines from today and over the weekend real quick, and then we'll jump into this situation about Smash JT and see what exactly this McDizzle character, or this personality, the one who sent him the fake email from Ubisoft, had to say for himself. Because he was supposed to be putting out a video a couple days ago after he, you know, got Smash JT to run with the rumor, and then he never actually put his video out. So I'm very curious to hear what he has to say for himself. All right, speaking of which, my work computer died today. Got the blue screen of death. Games like in Platinum or fun action games like Resident Evil. Yeah, I can feel that. I can see that. For me, it just has to be a game that's either good enough to captivate me long term, or something that I can quickly jump into, like Insurgency, which is a super easy game for me to just jump in, play a few matches, and get the hell back out. Again, time is very valuable for me. Way too valuable. I can't sink a whole bunch of time into a really bad game. I just can't do it. Alright, so, like I was saying, I got to work today and my computer is dead. It's doing that thing where you've got that blue screen of death where it wants to repair, but it can't repair, and basically I can't reset the PC, I can't do anything to repair it. I can't fix the damn thing. It is toast. It is dead. So now I'm in that quandary of, do I go ahead and buy myself a Meta PC and take my computer, this one that I stream from, to work, or do I just buy another cheapy work computer? I don't know, but if you guys are looking to buy a computer, check out Meta PCs. They've got the 5090s, they got the 5080s. I think they've even got the 4090s and 4080s available too. And of course, I've got a link down below. You can use my code to save a little bit of money. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of these topics because I want to quickly skim through kind of the hubbub and drama over the weekend so we can get to talking about Smash and watching this video for ourselves. Because like I said, I was going to maybe skim ahead and watch it, but I chose not to because I wanted to watch it with you guys to see just what McDizzle had to say for himself. I think we'll get into that in about 10-15 minutes. So, for those of you who are unaware, this is pretty frightening, pretty insane. I can't believe that this is like the world that we live in now. We had another plane crash today. Luckily, there were no fatalities that I heard of, But there was a plane that crashed from Minneapolis to Toronto that landed upside down, apparently.
We're in Toronto.
Oh, that's really loud. This shit, okay, this stuff right here makes me never want to fly ever again. And I don't fly very often. I've flown twice in the last 3 years, maybe. But this is terrifying. And I don't know, I haven't read ahead to see what the cause of this crash was. Luckily, I heard that I think 8 were mildly injured and everybody survived. You hate the McDizzle, seems like he supports the woke or fence sitter. Yeah, here's the thing. There are people like Actman, who I know some people think is a fence sitter. Some people think he's got a good take. Some people think he's an idiot. I've never listened to the man's videos. I don't know, so I can't speak to to that myself. What I will say is when I've seen him interact with people on Twitter, he very much seems like a fence sitter. Which, to be fair, I think it's okay to sit on the fence for a while until you make up your opinion, but eventually you do have to have an opinion on most anything in life. Especially if you're covering pop culture, gaming, entertainment, you have to be willing to have an opinion and speak for yourself. Always taking the opinion of whatever's popular at the time. I don't know, that seems like you said, kind of grifterish in a way. Yeah, so this happened today, I guess, and luckily, as far as I know, nobody got too seriously injured. Then, of course, I saw this one and I could not believe it, but this is apparently the world we live in now. Jewish man opens fire on 2 Palestinians in Florida, only to learn that they're actually Israeli tourists. He's slimy as hell. In terms of personality, he's like the reporter from Die Hard. Oh, that's a bad comparison. That's rough, John. All right, well, in that case, that kind of makes my opinion for me. Yang Ya, dude, Yang Ya is one of those. Yang Ya kind of outed himself as an industry shill, I think, quite a while ago. Spiritually effeminate. I don't know why YouTube's not showing that one, at least not in the YouTube chat that I'm looking at. But yes, I understand that term. I've seen people say spiritually gay, spiritually effeminate. All of those definitely apply very well to a large percentage of people, especially those in the commentary space. And guys, just so you know, if I do rush through this tonight and wrap up a little bit early, it's not that I have anywhere to go or anything to do. I have been feeling miserable today. I left work early, 3.5 hours trying to get my computer up and running, to then come home and lay on the couch for 2 hours with a splitting headache, terrible like stomach ache, and I don't know if I'm sick or what's going on today, but it's been a bad day. The Greg Miller clip, yes, I've actually got that booted up here to play. So again, this one kind of cracked me up. This dude here, Jewish guy, attacked 2 other Israelis who he thought were Palestinian. Luckily, defense spontaneous stated that while he was driving his truck, he said to. Oh, okay. So he thought he actually killed both of them, and they both survived. Well, good for these guys that they're still alive, but it's like this is Jewish on Jewish or Jewish on Israeli violence here, which I find very interesting. 3 days this week on 2 hours of sleep, that's rough. You'd laugh internally. Well, I don't tend to laugh at people's misfortune or misery, but in some cases it's justified. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this one. I've admitted a long time ago, especially with Twitter monetization, with the people that are on Elon Musk's, inner circle, I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk. I think he's done some decent things, but just like any other major personality online, you have to be very careful, very hesitant to give them your trust and your time, or your money for that matter. And unfortunately, he seems to have a thing for crazy women, and he apparently can't pull out. Elon doesn't have a pull-out game, it seems. So this chick, Ashley St. Clair, who's like some right-wing influencer who I don't follow. In fact, I might even have her blocked or muted because she's just cringe and annoying. Apparently got knocked up by Elon Musk. I believe the rumor is through in vitro fertilization. Now she's coming out saying how basically she's on her own. She has to deal with this, and she's been doxxed, and so she had to come out and admit to this because reporters are hounding her. And yet she ran to give an exclusive to the New York Post because Elon has ghosted her and won't respond to like their parenting plan that she's drawn up or some shit like that. It's unreal. The chick has like a multi-thousand, like $10,000-$15,000 apartment that she lives in. This is absolutely bonkers. I'm like, I get it. Elon is the richest man in the world, and apparently he likes to propagate. But it's crazy that he's got a thing Well, ironically, you got Meghan Markle in the middle here, but he's done both these women here, Amber Heard and Ashley St. Clair now, or at least had kids with both of them. Crazy eyes, man. You gotta be careful with those crazy eyes. Hey, Lugia. Agree with some things with Musk that make sense in reality. Oh, sure. But you gotta understand, like, what the intention is behind it. Someone says, I, for one, cannot wait for the Game of Thrones style battle that'll occur over the Empire of Mars. And you've got Elon Musk's children, rumored to have 13 kids with 4 different women. This is the part that grosses me out. Like, this is like the Andrew Tate recipe for, like, you know, success is have as many children with as many different women as possible, but not really be involved in any of their lives. And, you know, some people are like, how do you know Elon Musk isn't involved in their lives? When would he have time? Like, in honest to God. And one of his kids, hell, got transitioned by the mom. So it's like, there are several of his kids he probably has zero communication with. No connection to at all. And of course, people pointing out that Ashley St. Clair, I guess, went after Elon in a fake tweet or a joke tweet, trying to figure out a way to get with him years ago. You see this one where she called Zelensky a gold digger. I can't believe the nerve of this gold digger. Yet she's kind of doing the same thing. This guy, Growing Daniel, on Twitter says, I understand the payout system now. I know what I must do. And you can see right around the time that she had his baby, her payout period went up to $7,000 for like a 2-week period from the previous week of $1,269. I'm telling you, this Twitter monetization thing, I mean, when I was making 20, 30 bucks every couple of weeks on Twitter, I was like, all right, this is cool. It pays for itself. No big deal. Then you see these other guys getting these thousands of dollars every week, and you go, wow, that's crazy. How do they do it? And then you start to realize these are people that are in the inner circle. These are people that are definitely in the in-group where they're that 1% that you're never going to be a part of. It's a very small club, and you're not in it. Not good politics, but I know enough common sense that I could put my brain cells... Yeah. All of his kids seem to be boys, including the girl one. Yeah. Oh, it gets weirder. Some of the names, though, if you go back to just the names alone on some of these. So you got Griffin, Vivian, Damien, Saxon, Kai, Nevada. Okay, some of those are fine. Then you go to this bottom row. And it's XAEA X11. That's all that kid's one name. Exa Dark Sideral. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Techno Mechanicus, one that they don't have the name of. Strider Azure. Who the hell's naming these kids? I think these ones belong to, yeah, the ones with the really strange names all belong to him and Grimes. Absolutely insane. Oh, she probably does want some of his money, to be honest. Yeah, this whole situation with his kids is absolutely insane. Then, of course, you get people pointing out that she rushed out and hired this PR manager, this PR strategist, Brian Glicklick, who previously received $598,000 from Israeli security company Mer Security and Communication Systems, at that time, reportedly to help Congo avoid human rights sanctions. Absolutely nuts. So she went all out, hired some guy who allegedly was paid by Mossad, I guess, to represent her as far as her PR goes, ran to the New York Post to say, oh, I want privacy, but this man won't talk to me, so I'm going to tell the whole world I had his baby 5 months ago. Absolutely unreal. Bro was thinking of phonetics while naming his second line of kids. Bro named them based on whose baby mama he likes and dislikes. Do you think that was it, NS? Yeah, I knew you'd get a kick out of the Israeli part. Seen some VTubers who are looking into the Gamergate culture war topic that's not woke I like. I mean, there are some VTubers who aren't terrible. I don't have a problem with VTubing as a practice, guys. I apologize. My stomach just complete, misery right now. I told you, if I have to leave the stream early, it's nothing personal. I swore we're going to get through the stream tonight. I have no videos for tomorrow. I was going to record some at work. The computer's shit out, so now I got to take a backup computer to work tomorrow. Oh, my God. If it's not one thing, it's another. There is no one named Glicklick. I refuse to believe that's a real person. It's a real person. It's a person who makes a lot of money. Lots and lots of money. With a name like that, you got to be rich. Now we're going to move on to Melanie Mack. Because if I had to see this, you guys have to see it too. Now, the funniest part is I've seen this video a few times and never played it with the audio. This is kind of in relation to the Elon Musk thing, right? Now, keep in mind, Elon Musk has children with women who are, I would say, easily breeding age. And, exposing Smash isn't against YouTube policy to have nudity on camera. I didn't expose him. Somebody else exposed him, man. Come on. I'm just showing the exposure. Double exposure. So, Melanie Mack, who thinks she's funny, apparently, put this video out saying, if Elon Musk asks, if I'm going to be black for a second, if Elon Musk asks me to have a baby out of wedlock. So this is her for 9 seconds. I apologize, guys.
Get out! Get out. Get the hell out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray. I rebuke it in the name of the Lord. Get out!
All right, so that's Melanie Mack and her attempt at humor, apparently, in regards to this. It's really funny. I'm starting to see more and more people, and this is not like an anti-religious thing. This is not like a condemning her for her beliefs thing, or if she even has like authentic beliefs. My cat is freaking out. Give me a second, guys. Tucker, what's up? That damn cat is. Get her daily dose of Valium. Yeah, no shit, right? It's really hard to tell if YouTubers hiding their ideology or if they're actually grifters, and like until stuff like Gamergate and Gamergate 2. Yeah. Well, it's really funny because unfortunately some people are still the same person they were, even if they're, let's say I've seen Fertanga and a few other people calling out Smash JT for his content changing over the years. And while I will agree that, you know, not everyone starts off with this idea to do like anti-woke content or jumping into the Gamergate and getting political and stuff, there's nothing wrong with over the years your content changing. If you're still enjoying it, if you're still being honest and you're still, you know, espousing the beliefs that you actually hold, who cares if your content changes? Like, Fertanga shared that as some sort of own on Smash, that the videos he's making now are not the same videos he was making 7 years ago. So the hell what? That happens. People change, people's priorities change, people's, you know, perspectives change, and people's direction in life changes. You know, you go from 10 years ago, I would have just wanted to be a video game streamer, to now I do a lot more talking and thinking about politics and what's going on in the world and everything else, whatever. You can have a religious turnaround moment in life, but don't expect me. Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't know about Melanie Mack as far as like her come to Jesus moment, as far as that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about content like this. Going back, so here's the funny thing. You know, Melanie Mack is a co-host for the of the Quartering on his live shows. I guess he rotates through a few different people. And what really cracked me up was Melanie Mack did not like come onto the scene. Like, she didn't pop up on my radar until the Quartering shared a few of her shorts or her TikToks on his channel as like an intro or something. And then right after that, the two of them started talking on Twitter, and the two of them started working together on YouTube and shit. And all of a sudden, she started popping up everywhere. So really, I blame the Quartering for her even having much of a presence online. I'm sure, okay, she had a YouTube channel and everything else beforehand. Fertanga got mine broken, I think, after this Black PlayStation. CC's got a strike on his account. You know, I like Fertanga's opinion from time to time. I can respect the fact that he is calling out people that he believes are grifting, but I think that Fertanga loses sight of the fact that he's really just doing the he's doing the anti-woke reactionary side of things more than anything else. You know, you can make fun of the anti-woke if you think that they're single focused and not very nuanced. That's fine. But if you're also going to do like, all my videos are going to be dunking on the people that are anti-woke, well, you're just doing the same shit they're doing towards the woke crowd. It's no different. Singer looks like she's part of the modern audience activist. Well, she's an activist, just in her own way, though. Baked Alaska says 30 minutes after Milo texted Elon Musk's baby mama Ashley St. Clair a joke for the first time, he got hit with some sort of spam attack. Yeah, this was crazy. Milo Yiannopoulos, who I despise, I can't stand the man. He sent her a joke or like a smart-ass comment, he got hit with a massive spam attack. He got suspended from Twitter for a week, I guess for sharing semi-lewd photos of Ashley St. Clair that she had previously put online, and I guess she was underage in them, so I don't even know why those photos existed in the first place. But again, Milo Yiannopoulos, not somebody who I even have any use for at all. He also has the single worst voice of anyone to ever exist. Yeah, I think for Tenga, honestly, his his mannerisms and his voice, maybe it's part of his entire brand. I don't know. All I know is I definitely can understand people tuning out after a few minutes. I get it. I watched a video that was his hour-long video talking about the Game Awards, or sorry, the real Game Awards. And while he made some good points, I will say getting through an hour-long video was not easy. That was very, it was very painful. Not the easiest thing to get through. I'll admit to that. So now we'll get caught up on some gaming news, just because we're getting towards the end here before we talk about Smash. You think so? You think it's because he just doesn't have the influence that Smash is? I know. Okay. So if you guys see people on Twitter like this McDizzle, McDingleberry guy, he definitely has been salty for a long time. In fact, I think I had his YouTube channel. I'm gonna skip ahead. Let's go to his channel. Okay. If you look at McDizzle's content, so he's got 6,500 subs. As somebody with a stagnant 11,200, I have no issue with it. The size of your channel is irrelevant. It's about the content, the work ethic, and whether or not you actually have, anything important to say. Live streams, he's done well with some of them. His game streams don't even do as well as mine, which is shocking because my game streams are not popular at all. And then, of course, the one where he made fun of the Real Game Awards got 1.2 thousand views. Okay, so right there, that's the grift, if you will. His live streams that he talks about other people do better. Talking about Grums, again, the same kind of clickbait thumbnail, 500 views. Let me see here. Let's see, is there another one? All right, so clearly the ones that he's done that have the best views as far as live streams, and he doesn't live stream very much, were the ones talking about the anti-woke, right? Okay, so that's a pretty dead giveaway that's kind of like his bread and butter. You go to his videos, he doesn't make that many videos. Which again, I mean, he's got 800 videos, but recently it seems like his content production has slowed down. Over the past few months, so there's 12 videos in the last 5 months, and pretty much all of them have to do with other content creators. Or Grums, who I don't necessarily consider a content creator. He's got a massive hate boner for Grums, which is so funny because I'm not somebody who will ever defend Grums, because Grums has a game that he scammed people thousands of dollars out of that will never get finished. The last thing I will ever do is defend Grums. He's a big boy. If he wants to defend himself, maybe he should finish his game, right? But the videos that he's making now, like again, I don't see Fertanga calling out McDizzle. The videos he's making now, I would argue, have a better average viewer count. I mean, he's got some old videos from a year ago that got 72,000 views. That's not nothing. That's really good. I haven't had a video hit those numbers in probably 6 months. But again, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, more on par with the average YouTuber who's going through the algorithmic rut. Then you get to like 100 views, 800 views, 493 views, around 3,000 views. Then you skip ahead. Okay, so now he's got this one talking about Grums, 3,000. You got another one, 4.6 thousand, 10,000, 10,000. 4.3 thousand, talking about Andy Pants, who seems like a complete retard if based on what I've seen online. Grums again, 12,000, 5,000. Let me see, you got over here, talking to Concord devs. Now he's got this new one on Smash. So it seems like his new attempt at revitalizing his channel is all about going after the anti-woke, right? That's his thing. Ooh, unfiltered, wholesome thoughts. I love unfiltered, wholesome thoughts. Hey, Oblivion. Hey dude, it was cool seeing you in Kilted Cajun's live stream earlier. I hopped in for a minute, but I had a hell of a day, man. I told you on Discord my computer at work died, so I've got to figure shit out now. Let me see, wholesome unfiltered. Well, you remember that McDizzle's also Canadian, right? Let me see. Mark Kern TDS. Basically, it's Grum's derangement syndrome. The arguing over the McDizzle stuff and ethics and duplicity, etc., is so meaningless because all the stuff is partisan. People have picked their side and they're like, yeah, honestly, yeah. His vid on the state of play, yeah. Which is funny because I thought his video, actually, I don't know if I watched the one on the state of play. Andy Pants makes some good points. All I know about Andy Pants is when I see him online on Twitter, he seems to side with John Della Rose and Razorfist and Melanie Mack, that if he calls it woke or if he says it's bad, you have to believe him. And again, don't quote me on this, but I've just seen people screenshot his tweets and share them, and the man seems like he sniffs his own farts a little too heavily. What I saw of Smash from his reaction was peak. The guy was completely unsettled, totally phased and so emotional. Very weak stuff from Smash on the videos and live streams he did afterwards. Let's see. Oh yeah, airbagged is the worst. Andy's videos are fun, but his Twitter interaction is cringe. Okay, so there you go, Blu-ray. That's kind of the impression I'm getting, because I've never watched Andy Pants' videos, so I can't speak to his actual content. It is definitely his Twitter, his online interaction. There was a time when Andy Pants was a vocal DEI panderer. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know the deep lore on that guy, and I couldn't care less, to be honest. He's the funniest gaming YouTuber solely because of the way he talks. Like, I don't know, the guy's always making stuff, but I always burst out laughing. Andy Pants Gaming was beat in a debate by the Hackman. Oh, that's bad. Okay, and again, like I said, I don't watch the Actman's YouTube videos, but I do know him based on his Twitter interactions, and he strikes me kind of like Dev. And Dev is a complete fence-sitting... Like, isn't Dev Canadian? Is he actually American? Because I would believe Dev was Canadian if you told me he was. The dude is a complete, like, liberal, socialist, moderate fence-sitter. It's absolutely insane. He's just as bad as JDA. Oh, that's bad. He'll be like, hey guys, so I don't know if you noticed, but games keep getting worse, and I know what you're all thinking. Yes, it's gay people. Oh my god. Are we talking about Andy Pants on Twitter? Yeah. Can't wait for the Resident Evil 5 remake. Modern updates. Dude, they're not gonna make a Resident Evil 5. I don't think so. Got the whole fence in his ass, yeah. Fake account spam trash for a week after October 7th. Gab saw a massive drop in spam. That wouldn't surprise me. And it's like, look, here's the thing. I've said before, I'll say it again. I don't hate Jewish people, and I don't hate Israel, but I do think that people should be allowed to criticize things and question things honestly. And so when you have mass spam attacks, anytime somebody questions something or calls somebody out for something, I can't support that. It's like saying if you criticize Israel for anything they do, you're anti-Semitic. I hate the term anti-Semitic. It's dumb. It's like, first off, it's overused. Secondly, Jewish people are not the only Semites that exist. Semites are anybody who speaks an Arabic language or from an Arabic culture, as far as I understand. West Canada is different. I hear that, but still. All right. So let me quickly get through some of this other stuff real fast here. So we have Synth Potato saying EA says Dragon Age of Velgard failed because it wasn't live service. I need EA to explain this then. There will never be a day when amazing games that players want to play don't sell. Talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 hitting 2 million copies sold. Again, fair point. EA obviously has their head up their ass because you got people like PC Gamer talking about Avowed like this, okay? And you know that EA wants PC Gamer to defend them like they're defending Avowed right now. It's absolutely insane. Avowed's best enjoyed if you ignore the frame rate. Maybe we should do this more often. And my thought on this is I'm a person who doesn't really care about frame rate that much. I would rather a game run smoothly than worry about getting 60, 70, 80, 90 frames per second. I just want my game to run and look nice. I mean, most of my games I stream, guys, I have to run on low graphics anyways, so they're not going to look that great. But I do love PC Gamer covering for Avowed, saying, maybe we shouldn't care about the frame rate anymore, right? Like, give me a freaking break. Now we're up to Greg Miller, talking about the media covering for games, covering for bad, terrible people, right? Man has the balls to call it the ones we can't name. Well, and see, the thing is, Ryan, like, I'm not even... I have people like, there's a guy, I think Noticing is what he goes by on YouTube. I have to ignore half the shit he says, because he is the definition of juice-burging. Like, everything is the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. And I'm like, not everything is the Jews. You want to criticize the specific Jewish people that are doing certain things, go for it. Just the same way that you can criticize the CCP or anybody else that you feel like has done something bad. But I do believe that we need to be allowed to have open conversations, whether or not it's, you know, about Jewish people or Chinese people or English people or French people or African people. It doesn't matter, you know. I just don't like the hyper obsessing about it, and I don't like being told you can't talk about it. I guess that makes me kind of a fence sitter in a way, you know. Let me see. Yeah, anti-Semitism was created by communists to stop criticism. The more you know. I mean, not going to get into the specifics of that, but I think you're onto something there. So now we get to Greg Miller. Greg Miller, fantastic person. Wonderful human being. The man who I believe fired or parted ways with Colin Moriarty from Kind of Funny over a joke about women, right? He roasted Greg in DICE Awards on his live stream today in front of 55K. I'm glad to see that, because this right here, this is a game award show. Hey guys, this is absolutely like peak retardation right here.
My favorite games, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, is nominated for Online Game of the Year. Get your hands together. Yeah. Thank you, Rod. Of course, that is a game that takes real skill.
It does. Yeah, and I'm not trying to flatter everyone here, but if I know one thing about this audience, is that none of you had to pay someone to play Diablo for you.
Now, okay, what I will say is that in reality, criticizing Elon Musk over this, I'm okay with, because Elon Musk is a complete fake. Okay, completely fake. When it comes down to it, the man lied about playing video games. You're the richest man on the planet. You're the right-hand man at the moment to the president of the United States. You run, you know, a company that sends, you know, rockets into space, and you own the biggest electric car company on the planet. You own a social media platform and a satellite internet company. Why do you need to lie about your gaming skills? Okay? Why? But here we have it. And so, of course, they're going to call him out because he's now aligned with Trump. I get it. That's just the side of things. But then they take it another step further, right?
It's hard to level up your own characters when you're dismantling democracy.
I feel like we're in good company here, but just in case for the people online, if you get mad at that joke, it's Greg Miller. G-R-E-G.
M-I-L-L-E-R. Fuck Elon Musk and fuck Donald Trump.
He's forgetting that it's 2025. That's the funniest part. And again, if this was 2017, 2018, 2019, even 2020, 2021, nobody would care. We'd be like, oh yeah, these guys again. He's forgetting this is 2025. The man got, like, exponentially more votes than Kamala Harris. It wasn't even close. Now, you could argue that Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, those personalities, kind of helped sway the vote his direction. I don't even think he needed it. My immediate reaction to the way Greg Miller talks in accents clip, I don't care what he says, the grossest thing about him is who he is, was Republicans are never going to lose an election. Elon Musk and Doge are saving democracy. I don't know. Okay. I'd be careful to say that they're saving democracy, to be fair. Like, I want to give credit where credit is due, but I also want to be very careful to not over embellish, I would say.
Presents are the best way to show someone how much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to.
Oh, and as
say,
I read
man,
it, buddy. I just can't read that on air.
This many dollars worth.
People like him is the reason why I want to battle the gaming culture war.
Well, it's the reason the gaming culture war exists, and you can ignore it. You can just, you know, buy the games you want to buy. You can just not participate, or you can make your voice heard by not spending money on games that you don't support because the devs hate you or the media hates you. But at the end of the day, people like Greg are why people don't trust the media. And thanks for the 5, Luigi. I appreciate it as always, dude. He's the epitome of white dudes for Harris. Yeah. People signed off on this script. Yeah, I think it was Stuttering Craig said that you know, this was a approved script. They signed off on this. That's the funniest part of the entire thing. The culture has lapped these freaks 10 times over and they refuse to catch on. Well, I think it was Very Dark and Rev Says Desu in both their videos talk about this today. Both pointed out the entire audience is like cheering and clapping, right? The thing about it is, The people there are not the customers. The people there are the access media. They're the ones that are all parroting this stuff anyways. So this wasn't said for the average person. This was said for them and their buddies here in the audience. Nobody else at home is going to necessarily agree with or feel the same way as these people, at least not the majority, you know? Don't care about his politics. I care about how puffy-faced he is. He's like the living embodiment of the concept of cuckoldry. Yeah, Greg's physiognomy is not great. Also, Greg Miller's the same one who called Avowed a Greg-ass game, whatever that means, after saying that the gameplay is okay or the combat's just okay. Like, why is that a good thing? Why is the gameplay being Greg-ass quality? Yeah, he canceled his best friend for a dad joke. Yeah, exactly. People are telling you that your games are not political. So now we've got, this is an update from a few days ago. But again, like I've said before, I don't want to get into too much of the murky side of John De La Rosa's past, not stuff I really care to get into. But he did finally admit to stealing the image of the Spanish woman. So you can see her here in this tweet. Someone says she looks like a real person with a professional presence online. Doesn't seem like the usual online drama farming. Someone else, I agree, it looks like a legitimate business outside of the comic sphere. And then John De La Rosa basically blamed it on War Campaign, which goes back to his storied and checkered past online, saying it probably is. Sucks that War Campaign guys or whoever is farming the drama emailed to harass her. They're scum. No. Ironically, the guy that emailed Miss Annabelle at highspanish.com was somebody who follows me on Twitter. BioBoosted Squirrel. I'm not sure if he follows me on YouTube or not, but he contacted this lady and said, hey, are you aware that this guy's using your profile picture? And so John's finally at least admitting that it could be a real person after denying and saying the person doesn't exist. Not a real person. Avowed looks like a 4 out of 10 game compared to Skyrim. I would say Avowed looks like a strong 6.5. I'd give it a 6.5. Because here's the thing. Avowed, like any other game, Avowed reminds me of more of a RPG heavy New World, that Amazon game that came out a couple years ago. I bought New World. I think I put like 20-30 hours on it. I got bored. I just couldn't. Like it was your basic RPG, MMORPG progression type thing. And some of the storyline was interesting. The graphics were all right, nothing crazy. They had a lot of fun crafting mechanics in town and leveling up your skills and everything else. Fine, great, wonderful. But to me, Avowed seems like if you were the kind of person that the game appealed to and you could start, doing your quests and exploring, there's a lot of exploration to do. So fine, fair enough. There's probably hundreds of hours to get lost wandering through the hills, kind of like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The difference is, for me, I can't see myself getting lost in that game. I just can't. No, he didn't take any responsibility, Smeg. And I've got him muted on Twitter, so I don't even see if he's actually responding to anybody else about it now. Greg Miller, type of guy to tell you that you aren't secure in your masculinity if you don't want your wife to sleep around. So he's an Eskimo. Someone like Nick Calandra, it'd be interesting to find out. I wonder if they'd make an exception for that NS. So McDizzle's video dropped, and that's what we're going to watch next. And it says, new video drop, please watch, share, engage. The comment section is going to be a minefield. So he's only doing this knowing that he's going to get a reaction out of people, right? That's the entire purpose. The entire purpose is to get a reaction. Now, I don't think McDizzle actually cares about ethics and journalism because he's buddies with Nick Calandra, Alyssa Mercante, that scumbag airbagged on Twitter, all these other people. These are the people that McDizzle is replying to, getting retweeted by. Clearly that he's cool with them and they're cool with him, right? So like someone said, it falls down to like political tribalism more than anything else. I think JDA is not worth it the more I hear about him. Oh, dude, I don't talk to him anymore. At this point, I'm basically like, I just don't even care. Nick really feels butthurt, I'm telling you. So then you got Nick Calandra responding, saying, I love that he thinks checking a LinkedIn profile is verifying and that he was trolled. Well, he was trolled. Shows he has zero clue what he's doing, and the fact that in that email thread he didn't ask for anything to verify. No call, no pay stub, no contract, anything 100% fraud. But people give him money anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it goes back to the money. These people don't have any goal but be popular and make money, so they'll keep doing it no matter how many times they were exposed. This is the same dude that if you look him up on Twitter, okay, he was a complete scumbag when he was at Second Wind. People hated him. He was one of the top one of the top earners, despite I don't think he was actually one of the ones generating the most revenue. If you all remember, this guy Gigabear, who I guess had his falling out with Grums, fed Nick Calandra a bunch of fake information about Grums that freaking Nick Calandra ran with, okay? This was a thing that happened last year. Nick Calandra got exposed as being somebody who didn't actually do any sort of betting on his own. He just got a bunch of information that confirmed his biases and ran with it. But ironically, here he is calling out Smash JT. And I got on a stream with Smash JT a couple nights ago, and I was talking with him, and I'm like, you know, honestly, dude, I asked him, because everyone's saying Smash JT keeps being wrong about things, And I'm like, okay, be objective for a second, step back, and let me ask you, what have you been wrong about? If we're being, like, be honest, what have you been wrong about that these guys are pointing to that you've reported on that has turned out to be false? And he said just this one thing. That was it, the Ubisoft thing. That they were going to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows to May or whatever. So I don't understand. If there's anything beyond that, then okay, maybe Smash has a bad history of over-embellishing the truth or whatever. But if they're all going with this one thing where a guy faked being a Ubisoft employee down to where he took his name and position at the company, made a LinkedIn and pretended to be this guy, or made an email pretending to be this guy, and again, impersonated somebody, which in some situations could be a crime, and then contacted Smash JT with this information, if this is the one situation where he got duped, I don't understand how this is anything more than a temporary own. And that's not me even saying this to defend Smash, because Smash needs to own the fact that he ran with bad information. But I don't understand how this is some sort of massive win for them when there's not a history of him being wrong. I asked him directly, what's this history everyone's speaking of? How many times can you tell me you've been wrong about these things? And he's like, just this one time, right? Well, Smeg, to be honest, I mean, that's just kind of the way panel streams go. And that's why I told Hypnotic when he was on there, I'm like, I just don't typically do panel stream, you know? Yeah, and as we all kind of prefer our own politics, right? Now they're running out of money on second one. Well, they've been running out of money. And yeah, it's always about the money. Hey, Geek, how's it going, dude? What was really striking about Smash and Hypnotic stream about this was that when people explained to him why it's good to have two independent sources for non-reporting, he kept crying. He just kept saying, if I had to verify restore like that, I wouldn't be able to make any videos. Strikingly emotional. Yeah, he did react out of emotionality. That's not even a word. He did react emotionally, for sure. And like I said, I told Smash, I'm like, dude, I was actually going to run with your story and make a video on it because there was other Ubisoft news to talk about, so I was going to include his rumor in there. And then I didn't have time at work, so it actually worked out perfectly that I didn't cover it because it's like, well, that kind of saved me from being embarrassed, you know? Got pressured to do something about it ASAP. That's the reason McDizzle guy added a bit about his Bioware source told me they were trolling him. Yeah. Yeah, and Alyssa was quick to share McDizzle's post. Well, he probably reached out. He probably reached out and told her he was doing that. It wouldn't shock me one bit. And I'm not saying that definitively, like, oh, they were all colluding. No, it's more that it just makes sense. It makes sense that these people, look, there are right-wing circle jerks. There are anti-woke circle jerks. I'm in one of them with JDA. And if I could figure out the best way to tell them off before I leave, I would. And there's a lot of the other big hitters, big players in that same group chat that don't even talk because they're probably embarrassed by JDA. And so, of course, there are probably the woke circle jerks. There's the anti-woke circle jerks that exist where they all share information with each other. You know, these things all happen, you know? All right, NS, you go get that bag, man. Dude, I've been to the gym 4 times in, like, the last 2 weeks, and honest to God, I want to die. I'm just so... My body is just beat. Oh, man. All right, so, now you've got Alyssa Mercante. Of course... in response to this, she's all like talking about how she's the most ethical journalist ever, right? Old Man Grimm has these tweets where she says, well, we'll say what he put out here first. She's spurging out about gaming journalism again. Funny how she doesn't cite the article she did on SBI where she conveniently omitted the part of the story where Chris Kindred targeted Cabrutus Rambo and tried to get his Steam account banned, something that she has never owned up to. Oh, excuse me. This tweet from the 16th, for no particular reason, here's the work that went into a few of my reports and how many sources I used. This is an important reminder that journalistic integrity means waiting to run a story until you've exhausted every avenue and corroborated every detail. A report on how war games still regressively portray the Middle East. Well, why wouldn't they? The Middle East tends to be a shithole. 5 primary sources, emails to TGA went unanswered. 28 external links to supporting information, 1.5 months of research. And you know what it's about? I guarantee it's about freaking 6 Days in Fallujah? Whatever the name of that, I can't remember because I've never bought the game. I've thought about buying it like a half dozen times. But again, games that accurately portray the Middle East are somehow a problem, right? A report on the persistence of toxic voice chat in games. 8 primary sources. So she talked to 8 people who said, they called me the N-word. 6 external links. 1 month of research, plus a lifetime of being a woman who plays on... Oh, source, her. So she's saying she's her own source. That's it. Those are the 2 articles that she referenced. She was the editor-in-chief at Kotaku. For how long? Or sorry, not editor-in-chief. The trans dude is the editor-in-chief there. She was the senior editor. But she uses these 2 articles as proof that she does research. Absolutely insane. Hang on, let me refresh the chat a second. I think we're a little behind. It's not proof at all. It's just her saying things. It's just words. These are literally just words, okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Just words. Your Honor, activist hit piece on that Farmville game telling the guy to have expected it. Right. And when he asked her to correct her own statement, or correct how she translated what he said, she's like, that's not my job. It's not my job to clarify what you meant. Bitch, if you have any integrity at all, it's 100% your job. He can't go in and edit it for you. So it is absolutely your job. But no, that's not how she rolls. So that takes us now to McDizzle's video. And for anybody who doesn't know what this is in response to, like I said before, I'm going to bring it back up again. Let me see. I don't think I've got it on Twitter. Okay. So you've got this video Smash put out, exclusive Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed again. You can see the community note saying the claim is false. Its source being a pranked email that Smash JT fell for, and it's from McDizzle right here. McDizzle saying... Oh, hang on, it's the tweet I had brought up. None of this is reality, and I know this is because I am the leaker, in all caps. I did this to demonstrate that bad faith reporting in gaming news, especially around a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ethics in game journalism is important. But he's buddies with Alyssa Mercante. Smash could have asked for proof. He could have messaged me on a different platform. He could have reached out to other sources. True. There are pieces of this that are true. The issue is, Fratanga has actually been one of these people who's been like, oh, I'll give Smash, some leniency because he tends to be a little bit more nuanced than some of the other anti-wokers. But then he wants to completely deride Smash for not following up with others. I can agree with that maybe he could have taken time to try to vet the person some other way, right? But McDizzle's not doing this to help with ethics in journalism. This is 100% being done for ideological reasons. This is somebody who hates everybody on the anti-woke side of things. And look, I have plenty of beef with people who are in the anti-woke camp, okay? Plenty of them unsubscribed from me and called me a woke PDF defender when I simply said Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not child exploitation. Because it's not. It's clearly not. And I lost subs and got called, woke for that or some shit, like a woke defender. That being said, I have no doubt in my mind that this is not being done for journalistic integrity. It's being 100% done for ideological purposes. Let me see. He says, anyone can send an email to info@SmashJT. Again, that's true. Pretend to be anyone and becomes news. However, in some circumstances, it can be illegal to pretend to be anyone. Just keep that in mind, McDizzle. Keep that in mind, because... Again, I'm not sure what the laws are in Canada. I'm not sure with it being international because Smash is in California, Mcdizzle's in Canada. I don't know how you'd go about pursuing that, but technically a crime could have been committed. Just saying. This has been a trend, and I have more examples. In fact, his BioWare leaker reached out to me to say they were just the ones that they were just messing with him. Now, again, I asked Smash about this on stream on Saturday night. I'm like, okay. McDizzle mentioned that the BioWare leaker told them that they were the source. And that it was all fake. And he's like, no. I know the BioWare leaker. I've vetted that person. I've been in contact with him for months. It's not this person that's telling McDizzle that they were the leaker. So again, you'll have to either trust him on that one or not. Make your bag of money, but don't expect bad reporting not to be called out. A way to avoid that is to do a better job. Okay. But again, made a Proton Mail, made a fake profile, if you will, claimed to be this person, said that he's on contract with Ubisoft Montreal as a programmer, basically went through the guy's LinkedIn and copied and pasted what the guy was doing. So that's where we are now. Let me see. They are cultist sycophants, 100%. You wonder if McDizzle's roof leaks too. Is the roof leaking thing a real thing? Like, honestly, is that just hyperbole about Alyssa, or does her roof actually leak? International crimes are regularly pursued, but it would be mainly a criminal case. It's surreal to me how much gay and black people defend these megacorps at the slightest strip feet of representation. I don't think any other group does that. No, and it's for real. The people like, I've talked about these guys before. The Black Viking, the Tall Black Nerd, the Black whatever, Khalif Adams, Mighty Keef, Paris over there with Danny Pena, who's married to a black woman, so he's black adjacent because he's Hispanic, I guess. All these people, and again, that's me being hyperbolic. I don't think Mexicans are black adjacent, but you get what I'm saying. POC, right? They lump themselves all into the POC camp. It's just the way it works. So all these people, just like the DEI defenders in the government, just like people who are on food stamps defending Trump not wanting to take away their soda pop and their candy from their food stamps, all these people are being drip-fed insider access or media access because of the color of their skin, or because of their orientation, or because of the status that they were artificially given in some situations, and not all of them. I think labeling any successful black person as a DEI hire is very detrimental, and DEI is responsible for that because DEI has created more racists than it ever helped, helped to stop. DEI is the cause of a lot of the racism we see nowadays because DEI sucks. But unfortunately, you can't look at every single black person and say DEI hire. But the reality is, the reason that they're propped up by the media is 100% for DEI purposes. There's no question there. So when you see these prominent black people in the gaming space who definitely seem to be mouthpieces for corporations and don't seem to have any original thoughts for themselves, it doesn't help it doesn't do much to minimize the impact from the allegations that they're just shills, right? Why did he redact the name of the real person he used? Because he knew that it's illegal, okay? To be getting fired? Yeah, exactly. Weaponized empathy for virtue signaling points. 100%. Oh, Smeg, you know the funniest thing? When I called out Khalif Adams for his controller collection, look, guys, I have a controller collection. I have my Xbox controller that I bought myself, okay? Paid full price for. Then I have these two that I got from that Chinese company Beitong, and I was supposed to get reviews done on both of them, but I haven't heard from them since, and I did a review on the first one. That's it. That's the amount of free controllers I've gotten. And to be honest, they're not bad, but they're Chinese overpriced things that are on Amazon, right? Whatever. Khalif Adams has a collection of controllers. That's one of his things from what I've seen on Twitter. And he gets like the scuff gaming controllers. You guys know scuff gaming, right? Like the $140, $150 customizable type controllers and shit. And I couldn't find, I think he deleted the tweets, because when I went looking on his profile a few months ago, because I remember him posting something about that to kind of rub it in his face for being just nothing but a beggar online, because he begs for review codes and everything else, right? Khalif Adams, if he has more than $100 in the bank, I'm going to be shocked, because he acts like he's broke, the amount of stuff he begs for. And so, yeah, I looked for the tweets about scuff gaming controllers, and I couldn't find them on his profile. So I don't know if he deleted them out of embarrassment or what. But yeah, there you have it. Useful idiots. Yeah, I mean, useful idiots come in all shapes and sizes, but they're pretty easy to spot these days, unfortunately. So, I haven't previewed too much of this. I can drop my controller and scuff it for free. Oh, man. Hypnotic farmed him for this, so he has one on his video. Okay, well, there you go. So I know I'm not crazy then. One of the Neptunia games had a Gamergate reference making fun of game journalists you would call woke today before the dialogue was removed. Oh, interesting. Well, and the thing about it is we've talked about localizers off and on this channel, and other channels cover a lot of localization. The problem is a lot of times localizers will be those same woke individuals who like to interject their own viewpoints on the world into things. And so the terminology that you'll get won't be the same once it's translated into English, because these people try to put like a modern spin or try to rephrase things for a modern audience, you know, that wonderful kiss of death. All right, so now we have the yellow journalism of Smash JT exposed. 27 minutes from McDipshit. I don't even want to watch all of this, but we're going to try to. I know that Smash is watching it, I think, on his stream, so let me switch to full display for this. One of these days, I'm going to actually get all of my video clips edited. I'm going to fix my intro. I'm going to re-edit my intro. I'm going to get it funnier and, you know, just try to update it because I just haven't had time. I am so far behind at work. Now with my computer crapping out today, I am beyond, like, freaking out internally with all the things that I haven't gotten done that I need to get done. So I'm going to put that on the back burner one of these days. Yellow journalism is a bit different than carelessness. But again, for God's sakes, make it 8 minutes. No. They're not gonna make it 8 minutes, man. They're gonna make as much. Again, this is the grift. You want to talk about a grift, right? It'd be really easy to make a video. Hell, my biggest video before I really got into covering like mostly gaming on this channel, because when I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't know what I was doing with it. I had no idea. I had no idea what kind of content I wanted to make, right? And so I had one video talking about that Eliza Blue chick who Elon Musk was banging. I cannot believe the two of them didn't have kids together. Thank God we dodged a bullet there. And I did a full deep dive investigative piece on her and the chick that was propping her up, Annie Donowald, and I contacted the agent for Annie Donowald to find out how much they charge for an appearance, and it's like $10,000. Got into I was contacted by Annie Donowald's daughter-in-law or something, and they had to fight for custody, or the daughter's sister or something. They had to fight for custody for the child that her like horrible daughter had. Like, it was this giant mess. Like, I was massively behind the scenes on that. The video did really well, right? And that video I think was only like 10 or 12 minutes long, and I went on this like massive deep investigative thing for a few weeks before I put that video out. So I don't understand why we're gonna have to watch 27 minutes of this. What's the newest grift in town? The newest grift in town is dunking on anti-woke YouTubers. Not just calling them all grifters, but grifting off the supposed grifters, Tekla. That's where we are, apparently. Stop Asian hate. What's wrong with Asian journals? I got nothing wrong with Asian journals. But I just don't like journals in general.
Omar coming, yo. Omar coming, yo. Omar coming. Get out of here, yo.
Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. It's been a crazy couple days, and I'm gonna tell you why.
All right, I already don't like his voice. Holy crap. You know what's really funny? Every human being alive, with the exception of maybe like if you're Sean Connery, although he's dead now, most of us are very self-conscious of our appearance, you know, our weight, our, you know, how we dress, the sound of our voice, what our hair looks like. When you start going bald as a man, it's very, you know, it's emasculating, it's humiliating in a way, right? But I don't know. This guy's voice is something else. Like, if I sounded like that and I played it back and listened to it, I don't know that I would continue making videos. You wonder if you're in this video? We'll see.
We're gonna dive into a crazy social experiment and the fallout from it. If you are here because you hate me, at least give the video a chance and let me know what you think. And if you're here because you support my style of journalism, you can join the channel as a member or drop anything for a super. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new.
Alright, so he asked you to like and subscribe in the first 30 seconds. I thought that was kind of a no-no. I know that there are channels that do that, and I have addressed in the past situations where I feel like YouTube has throttled a lot of my videos, and so in the very beginning I'll mention that YouTube has kind of kicked me in the nuts. But asking people to like and subscribe on your journalistic, you know, hit piece, if you will, within the first 30 seconds, isn't that like a big no-no? He's from Nova Scotia. Canadians don't like them either. Oh, well, NS had to point out to me on Discord that apparently his name's Omar. So I take that for what it's worth, guys. I'm not going to say anything about that.
new. I'm gonna have some detractors, and sure, there are some things I regret. But at the end of the day, we drove some fascinating conversation around journalism and gaming, and that is a good thing. And I'm not...
Is the audio, or is audio that bad, or is he just shouting? He's just shouting. Maybe he's got like a really crappy microphone. And again, we all start off somewhere. My microphone's a decent one, guys. You can see it. It's the Hyper Quadcast, right? It's like the $100 range. It's not like anything fancy. When I'm at work, I have my old blue snowballs that I use there, and those are $40 microphones. And so if that's what he's using, I get it. The sound isn't necessarily going to be ideal. But you can control the tenor of your voice and how you talk. And unfortunately, this is already off to a bad start, personally.
Backing down from any conversations. Smash, if you want to chat, I'm happy to. Might be your best night for Super Chats yet. First of all, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning things, but I'm always on a quest for truth.
So in the first minute, he says, like and subscribe to the video, and brings up the fact that Smash makes a lot of money on Super Chats. You know the funny thing about that, too? This is a small channel, little dick energy move. And I remember when my channel was smaller than it is now. Although I was getting better views than I'm getting now. So, I mean, you can't have it all, right? There was always that little bit of jealousy you're going to have for bigger channels, channels that grow faster, channels who cover the same topics whose videos do better, channels who get more in super chats, channels who get more members. And then you have to eventually either stop with the YouTube shit and be like, this isn't for me, it's hurting my mental, like, you know, stability, or you get to a point where you go, it's nothing to hold. You can't judge yourself against somebody else, and you really shouldn't. It's not just YouTube, it's life in general. You should never base your worth in life on the guy next door to you, or the guy across the street, or the guy online that you think is better looking or makes more money. At the end of the day, it's irrelevant. So to me, who's been somebody who's gone through the smaller channel growing angst to where I'm now, where I'm like, well, if I can just get my channel to start getting more regular views again, I'll be happy. I couldn't care less how much they're making in super chats. If Hypnotic's raking in $3,000 a night, good for him. I don't care. This to me feels like the small channel jealousy and nothing more. And I could be wrong, but as somebody who's experienced this myself and gone through it, when you bring up the money within the first minute of your 27-minute video, I don't know. It just seems gross. Lower his vid, or I'll lower the volume. That should be a little bit better. He said he's open to talk, but was quick to block me. The funny thing is, dude, I don't pick fights with people unless I'm willing to have a conversation. So my block list tends to be only people who are legitimately bad actors, like people who are spamming me or people that I've muted and I can't get them to go away, so eventually I block them. Most of the people I have on my block list are just bots. I block people like, for example, that Tiffany Fong character, that gal that was probably banging Elon, trying to get, you know, baby number 14. And that was because I don't want to give her my Twitter monetization. I don't want to give her ad revenue. So I blocked her so I wouldn't see her. That was about it. In general, like, I don't block anybody. Let me know. We'll see if this is a little bit quieter.
And I've done some interesting investigations into the culture warriors of today within Gamergate. I'm hoping this video is some of the more interesting journalism that you'll see. If you're interested in my other reporting, check out my channel, including a groundbreaking investigation into Ember by Grums. I say this because I do have a heavy record of thorough research. We need to talk about accountability in gaming journalism in 2025. It's moved to a wild place, and I'm not just talking about the Kotakos of the world dying, because they are. It's the unchecked new journalism in gaming that has become what Gamergate 1 was meant to fight about.
Unchecked. Okay, so right off the bat, he's mentioned the money, asked for a like and subscribe, and he's brought up the unchecked gaming journalism. He's parodying Alyssa Mercante's talking points. He sounds like a streamer who has a communications coach. So Gulag, here's the thing. What I've noticed a lot too in this situation is that if I make a video where I'm trying to do like a script, which I haven't done in a couple of years now, really, you just sound different. And honestly, the thing that has kept me from wanting to go back to doing anything scripted and just kind of like talking off the cuff is when you speak openly and honestly, even if you have to do it in a couple takes because you didn't make your point very well the first time around, you're going to have your genuine, honest opinion in the moment, rather than trying to script something to sell like your ideas as well as you possibly can, right? That's the difference between streaming and content creation by and large when it comes to things that are scripted, is I can't script this. I went into this night at 9 o'clock with nothing pulled up. I knew kind of roughly in my head some of the things I bookmarked on Twitter that I wanted to bring up and talk about, but I don't have a script to work off of. So you're getting my genuine take off this the first time seeing this. When you hear people who are scripted, especially if they're not good at it, there are people that are good at it. Upper echelon is really good at scripted videos, and then there are some who are just genuinely terrible at it. You blocked Cabrutus yesterday because he was making the most mouth-breathing 4chan green text brain rot bait post about Final Fantasy VII. Cabrutus is an interesting individual, and I say interesting as somebody who finds him generally uninteresting. I support Cabrutus in the fact that this entire Gamergate 2 thing started because they wanted him banned on Steam. That for me is it. I've had zero interactions with Cabrutus. Things that I've tagged him in, he's never responded. Back when my channel was still growing and I had a very small presence on Twitter and I was finding things, I couldn't get his or Grum's attention. So it was like, whatever. That being said, I have talked to people that have things to say about Cabrutus, but they won't come forward about it and talk about it. So it's like, well, I'm not going to do all that digging myself. If you want to tell me about it and then I can kind of look into it, that's fine. But I don't, at this point, I feel like Cabrutus has just kind of stepped back and isn't doing anything. Like he had his 15 minutes of fame, and then they're not really doing much with DEI Detective website. They hardly ever add any new games to it. They don't add much context to it. I just don't know, you know? The app needs an IQ filter that lets you set an IQ range for what accounts show up on your eye. I don't want to know what my IQ would be, though, at this point, to be honest. At almost 39 years old, I feel like my IQ wouldn't be as high as it used to be.
About, which was ethics within game journalism. I think that's something that everyone can get behind. You know, we have the woke mind virus, but there's also the anti-woke mind virus. And a lot of it stems from questionable reporting from YouTubers with anonymous sources. Specifically within the gaming space, there's such...
Alright, the anti-woke mind virus. He brings up Concord and Dustborn in a meme. Two games that were insanely woke. Well, okay, let's step back a second. Concord, as a game, I'd say wouldn't be the most woke game ever. However, they did have gay characters, trans characters, and again, I'm somebody who's played games and said gay characters alone don't make the game woke. The emphasis, though, was put on unattractive characters. They had the inclusion of trans characters, the inclusion of gay characters. They didn't just need to have a trans character, they hired a trans voice actor for the trans character. And then, of course, you had all the pink and purple color trans-coded scheme, right? Concord, in a nutshell, was everything you could possibly cram into a real game, because apparently people who played the gameplay part of Concord said the game was fine, like the gameplay was decent. So you had all the woke crap crammed into the body of what could have been a decent shooter game. Dustborn was just a complete piece of dog shit. So if you're going to point out two games that you could say, you know, make a meme out of and be like, oh yeah, you anti-woke mind virus. Dustborn was first off, it didn't make any money because it wasn't marketed to a mass audience. It was definitely more of a niche game. But that being said, I don't know what the production cost was. It couldn't have been that much, but even then, you know it lost money. Yeah, both games failed in their own ways, for sure.
Such a low threshold for large YouTubers that anything can get published as fact. And of course, you can always have a disclaimer that says, hey, this is a rumor. If you're gonna believe this person, sure. But at the end of the day, if you're a large YouTuber and you have a website that you provide gaming news to people, you're gonna get questioned if the information seems illegitimate. But do gamers want that information thrown out into the collective zeitgeist?
Lugia that says they should add more content for the website if they're just going to keep laxing. What's the point of the culture? I mean, there's no point then. Yeah, he's pretty disingenuous. And again, this is why people... Fratanga does this. Fratanga, as somebody who's more of like a centrist, I would even say, although he said, oh, I voted for Trump and I was anti-woke, but you know, these people are cringe. Fratanga's like, well, you should debate leftists. I don't do the whole debate me bro thing at all. I'd rather have a nice discussion with chat and have people disagree with me and we could kind of talk different points. I don't do the whole, okay, you're on the spot, I'm going to debate you. I don't do that shit. I just don't. I'm too chill for that. I have no interest in debating. So like, I pushed back on Smash JT a couple times on his stream on Saturday just to try to get to the bottom of all this stuff. I don't know if any of you guys were there. His chat was insane that night. Like, they were having to mute and ban people way more than I've ever seen in Smash's chat. I didn't know if it was me, if it was people that were sent there from JDA. I don't know if it was because of the fact that my take on some of this stuff was a little different than maybe his usual audience. But it's like, I would much rather have a nice conversation about things than do the whole debate me, bro. I don't do that shit. Concord played bad. A lot of esports players called it out for being jank. Oh, see, I didn't know any of that, because everything that I heard about it from what people who played it said, the gameplay itself was fine. You know? Oh, it's true, John. The fact that he made like $1,800 in super chats the next stream is pretty hilarious. Well, in Nightcore, when it comes to Destiny, I'd be like, dude, you got cucked by your wife. I'm not going to debate you. I have nothing to say at that point. So we're supposed to take this guy as genuine and honest if he used a real person's identity to lie. This was the ethics that he wants us to follow. I don't get this video. Yeah, for real.
Geist. Without a high level of confidence that it's correct. We're going to talk about at least how some of that information gets out there. Often within the scope of yellow journalism, which is a fantastic way to drive views and to get money. Now, yellow journalism within gaming hasn't specifically been explored, but we're going to do a bit of that. Of course.
Again, this whole framing, the yellow journalism thing, is again the idea that Alyssa Mercante is pushing, that you got to trust the mainstream, bro. Trust the mainstream. I mean, again, deviating from the politics side of things, there's a reason why trust in the media has been at an all-time low for like the last 8 years, right? And doesn't this man know how to get like the dark, like the night reader extension for Chrome? Good God, man, this is bright. Avert your eyes if your eyes are sensitive. This is nuts, dude.
Of course, a big part of yellow journalism is taking sides on political issues, as well as reporting stories using anonymous sources. And we've seen a lot of that, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
How many times has this man now said this is what we're going to talk about? Like 5 times in the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds? Fertinger just needs a new grift after Xbox blew their brains out and can't grift off console war stuff as hard as he used to. So here's the funny thing, John. I had never seen Oh No Alex until he was on Side Scrollers last year at some point, and I don't follow him on Twitter. I genuinely don't think that I would enjoy getting to know Alex very much, but it does seem that there is a certain niche audience for the console war stuff. For me personally, like, I just don't care. I'm like, I play on PC. I think Nintendo's better than Xbox or PlayStation. And if you play either one of those, I don't care. That's fine. Go for it. But as far as like exclusives, if I was going to pick one platform, it'd be Nintendo. And Nintendo famously doesn't really get in the console war. They can't really compete. They just kind of stay in their own lane.
This type of content is like the tabloids of video games. Now, do I think yellow video game journalism should exist? Sure, but gamers like accuracy and call-out patterns, and that's why we're here today. This is a fantastic playbook on how to drive views on YouTube. But it does come at the expense of truth and facts. But in any case, we should have an informed conversation about it. I mean, I get it. Who wouldn't want a pile of views on their YouTube channel? And don't get me wrong, it does take skill and talent to do what Smash does and others do. And one thing I will call out is some of these other people are like John Della Rose, who's trying to see this as an own on Smash, and it could have easily been him. Personal message to John, you're a freak, but maybe we'll explore that in another video. But we'll do a breakdown of how we arrived here. An example from some time ago with Smash.
Well, shots fired at John Della Rose, no harm there. You guys cool if I turn the speed up a little bit? I can even turn the volume down a touch more if you guys want. McDizzle talks like someone whose heart rate goes up when he tries to order food. Oh my God, for real, dude. One of those guys that he has to plan out talking on the phone, right? Oh my God. Hey, I could turn the quality up on this video. Not that it's really worth it, but we could turn the quality up. And where is our playback speed? 1.25 or 1.5? Nintendo's been around since like 1880 something. Well, yeah, not literally, but still. Isn't what he's doing the same category inherently? Arguably, this is equally, if not more, sensationalist. He's milking the hell out of some... It's like, okay, it's a gotcha. You got him. You got Smash. You fed him bad information, and then, you know, he went and made a video on it. Ironically, the video didn't even do well. That's the funniest thing. I've noticed a lot of Smash's videos that do like the leaker exposed kind of stuff aren't always the best views. What does the best on YouTube views is what YouTube decides to push when things are in the algorithm. when everybody was covering Dustborn. We all did great for views, okay? So personally, I don't think that this is some sort of like, oh, Smash is profiting off of lies, and so this is the only reason. No, sometimes the expose videos don't do well, okay? And to start out with cards. Oh, I guess you're right. Let's see how he sounds on 1.5 times.
JT was with Concord. The most epic failure of all time. Smash did some reporting on his perceived contributions of an employee and their alleged impact to the destruction of Concord. The information was so off that a Concord employee reached out to me, one that I did verify. I did a couple things to reach a high level of confidence with that source. For example, I reviewed their profile next. They weren't hiding anything. Or for another that corroborated things, they could send some proof. I guess the point being, if someone trusts you enough as a conduit of the information that they want to provide, they should...
Wait. Hang on a second. How is it possible? How is it possible that people like Fratanga want to be like, oh, nobody's reaching out from Ubisoft to talk to Smash JT. They're not reaching out to talk to some YouTuber who's got a massive audience. 110,000, I think, is what's the amount of subscribers Smash has right now. And he gets easily 100,000 views on his better videos. But McDizzle had somebody from Firewalk Studios reach out to him, right? Hey, Blu-ray, I can just turn him down a little bit. Top G is, so my question is Smash based or a sellout? Here's my honest take from Smash. I'm gonna put it on 1.25. 1.5 is too fast, so this guy sounds even worse on 1.5. Let's do 1.25 and just turn the volume down a little bit. I have talked to Smash extensively in DMs. He's been really supportive with me going through all this crap with not knowing what to do with Fandom Pulse and John Del Rose and John Trent when they both lost their damn minds. And the only thing that I have ever felt like he needed to really be called out for, if you will, was when his audience attacked him for not going hard at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Within a day, he changed direction and made a video attacking Daniel Vavra. Put a filter on his voice so he sounds less Canadian. I think that was more Smash just doing the knee-jerk reaction because, you know, he has never had a situation where he got hit with a large subscriber loss from one video, and I think he lost, like, I don't know, a couple 150 subscribers from that video. Dude, I lost like 50 subscribers when I covered Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It is what it is. I would not say he's a sellout. I just think that he might, honestly, maybe he got scared, or maybe he just didn't look into it enough. Maybe he didn't really, because Smash isn't playing the game. Smash is one of the people covering the game who's not actually playing it. So he's, in that respect, I hate to lump him with JDA, because JDA is a scumbag. But Smash is more in the camp of JDA, where they're looking at the information that you have available online, but not actually hands-on playing the second game themselves. Yeah, and Endymion ran with a lot of bad information over the last couple months over the game. So, as far as I know, Smash is based, and even Kyle acknowledged him. Well, Kyle is somebody who I'd have no use for. Anybody in the same space who blocks you for no apparent reason that can just go screw themselves. The dude's had me blocked on Twitter for months. After following me, unfollowing me, following me, never messaged him, never heard from him. I've never interacted with the guy, and he blocked me, so he can screw off. I don't care. Up to people to get their own impression of what he's presented. Yeah, I think personally you just have to go with your gut on that one. You have to make up your own mind about whether or not you think he's authentic. I think Smash, like Blu-ray says, is just a normal guy. Yeah. I hope he tells everyone in this video they use the identity of a real person. Yeah, how about that? It wasn't a gotcha moment. So I asked, hey, Joe Darkness, I asked Smash about that on Saturday. I said, dude, okay, so here's the thing. You got this rumor. It was a Friday. Allegedly, this was information that was going to go out, so he wanted to get ahead of it. Okay, so that was his first mistake. So oh, dude, I don't know why Gulag, he's had me blocked for months on Twitter. I noticed it months ago, and I'm like, WTF. But, you know, it is what it is. So, that being said, I asked Smash about it, and I'm like, okay, so you ran with the story. You did as much verification as you thought you needed to. You got the guy's name. You double-checked. Yeah, that guy works there. The emails seem to match. Okay. So he could have waited a few days, and he could have waited till like Monday to put the video out. And then I asked him, like, okay, so Smash, let me ask you, what would have happened if you had waited between Friday and Monday to release the video. What new information would you have gotten to vet the guy? And he's like, nothing. So that's why he felt confident in releasing it, given the fact that he was calling it a rumor, because he did as much as he could. You can argue again that he could have tried to contact the guy through other means, but then, I don't know. Kyle's Unhinged. He reached out to him once. Airbag made that police report and leaked his name to report that post. Yeah, I forgot about that. Didn't he have... It wasn't really a JDA moment. It was some other police report about Kyle. But yeah. Smash comes across to me like someone who's very easy to bait and fool. Gullible, doesn't have a shred of the instincts that someone like Hypnotic has. True, but let me counter that. Let me counter that, John, because here's where I will stick up for Smash. And this is not a slight to Hypnotic. This is not a slight to Hypnotic. This is not a slight to Vera. This is not a slight to Yellow Flash or any of the other bigger content creators who are out there making videos. However, these guys, like Hypnotic, are reading articles that other people have written on all their videos. They're not the ones necessarily doing the investigative work. They're not savvy artists. They're not Hirsch. They're not Blu-ray. They're not any of these guys on Twitter that are digging through socials. Like, Blu-ray sends me stuff all the time that you guys have no idea because I just don't necessarily have time to make videos on it. There are people who do a massive amount of investigative work digging through things, piecing things together behind the scenes. A lot of the bigger channels only cover what other people have written. So it's easier for Hypnotic to quote-unquote get things right because he doesn't have to be the one being contacted by people in vetting sources. No. Then he went, but they would just try to find other ways to fool me. Well, what I would be concerned about is him, and the people have mentioned that maybe again you're going to have more whistleblowers who are afraid to speak out, or you're going to have more fake whistleblowers. Okay, so that means that you got to up your game as far as vetting, right? That's why I think John Trent's a beast, setting shit aside. I still respect John Trent's work ethic, and I really wish that he hadn't gone full-blown like Deus Vult on a game that he knew nothing about. Dude, honestly, I would have so much more respect for John Trent and John De La Rose if they had contacted somebody who was already writing articles at Fandom Pulse. Not even me, but anybody who's contributed over the last year, and been like, have any of you guys played this game? What's any of this about? And then done some basic fact-finding, and then instead of doubling down when you've been disproven, instead they go even further. Because again, it's a personal vendetta at this point. That's where I lose the respect. Once you're writing articles as a personal vendetta because you got into a spat with the creator of the game on Twitter, there's no ethics there at all.
Should be able to trust you enough to give you at least enough to know that they are sincere. And taking it at face value has a massive risk for misinformation. However, based on accounts from 4 other people that I was actually able to verify, a number of things that he said were factually wrong. You can check that video out if you want. And you know what? He might have talked to somebody there. And maybe that was their experience. However, a number of his statements were very broad and reaching and, well, not correct based on my research. Either way, that drew me further into heavy skepticism of anything Smash JT was reporting. Alright, fast forward to a couple days ago, I got a message indicating that Smash will print anything to go to LinkedIn, find a random name for a developer at any studio, make a fake email on anything, and send him insider stuff he wants to hear. He'll post it within the hour. I did it a few times now. I'm one of his BioWare insiders. Now, I have no interest in blowing Smash JT up. I'm sure he's created a variety of enemies, and this sounds like one of them. I did ask him for additional proof. He locked himself out of the account and didn't have screenshots. However, he did provide me the insider name and email address. And Smash, if you want to know that name and email address, I'd be happy to provide it directly to you. I'm not going to post their name out there for everyone, though. But allegedly, one of your BioWare insiders are fake. The crazy thing is, this fake leak ended up happening. Part of it did anyways. Specific article about a BioWare insider leaking all. Veilguard sales numbers, internal culture war, and layoffs incoming. Now, we do know layoffs did happen. But this specific piece right here was kind of funny. Let's find it. This part about a private chat group at BioWare with more than 10 people in it that follow his content specifically, that's pretty made up. Allegedly. And again, I would be happy to be proven wrong. That specific article was...
Now, again, this is once again somebody who's supposed to be a journalist. We're talking about McDizzle here saying, oh yeah, some person contacted me saying, oh, I'm the person who did this, and I could give you their name and that's the extent of it. I could contact McDizzle and say, hey, I was also one of the leakers. Here's what I told him. This proves nothing. Let me see here. Leaks are always problematic if you can't validate. Yeah, I mean, God, boy, isn't that the truth. And the thing is, especially if you're... okay, so, prime example. Wait, go back to that message that said I was annoyed most of it came true. Dude, I'm telling you that it's that fat lard Jeff Grubb. Probably. He said he could verify with 4 people. Was this an inside job? I don't know. I mean, maybe, or yeah, I mean, dude, it would not shock me if Airbagged was the one doing it. And again, this is just me spitballing. I'm not going to start throwing names out there and claiming that people that I don't like or people who, the rest of us don't like on Twitter are the ones responsible. But it is funny when they start saying, oh, we made this all up, and then it all comes true, right? Doomcock was right sometimes. Just believe my words. I mean, yeah, honestly, anybody could say, oh, haha, yeah, I'm the one that emailed him. And it's like, I could make that same claim too. So what I will say the difference is, you're not going to have every insider available contact you through some anonymous email. The guy that I was talking to from Deck 9, I talked to through his work personal Twitter page, which had him working at Deck 9 and being tweeted about from Deck 9 Studios. And so it's like, okay, there's no question there that that's the real person, right? So unfortunately, I would be very skeptical, and maybe Smash should have done a better job being a little more skeptical of this. When it comes from a Proton email, that's concerning, Wish Trump and Musk would go after reset era posters. Good luck with that.
Written just hours after this was sent by this gentleman. I have a level of skepticism with this, of course, because the BioWare layoffs did happen. Although I disagree with this guy's approach. I followed up to flag this just shortly after his video was posted. This dude just left it. I think that's 1, incredibly irresponsible, and 2, I'm doing an actual report. I'm doing an actual story. If true, of course, that helped no one, and actually made it look like a fake leak was true. And honestly, that doesn't really help anyone, outside of the additional validation that, hey, Smash does just run with things. My intentions are pretty noble, and they didn't just come from out of the blue. However, I'm fascinated to know if the names we have match up, Smash. He also recommended I try...
My intentions were noble. Oh my god. This dude's been huffing his own farts way too much.
...for myself. So I did. The only thing being a name and a role of someone that worked at Ubisoft, along with other nebulous information, but I did not link to any sort of LinkedIn or socials or anything like that. I had some ethical and moral questions around this. I did this after careful consideration of previous instances where there's been significant doubts in insider information. And Smash, sorry it was you, it could have easily been Endymion. So I created an email address and I drafted up an email saying that I was a random employee at Ubisoft and that the game was going to be delayed due to a massive amount of bugs and the desecration of the shrines. I did not link to any LinkedIn profile or...
Smash is gonna get debated again soon. Yeah, dude just doesn't have the right attitude. Again, won't matter because this stuff is just WWE wrestling, not real journalism on either side. I can agree with that to a degree. Guy's just flat out lying. Kind of feels that way. He should have scripted this. I feel like he did though. This seems scripted. I did this after careful consideration. He was drilling at the thought of getting more followers. Seriously. And the funniest part is going to be when this is like when Asmongold covers a video that's gotten a small amount of views, and Asmongold gets all the views, and the creator of the video doesn't really get as many. While it's cool to be covered by a bigger channel, like Smash, I'm sure, is going through this video right now, it would be like absolutely hysterical if this video gets, what, a couple thousand views for this guy's time, 27 minutes and a ton of like cuts and shit for, I mean, these videos, I've done these before. If it's scripted, this takes hours to do, right? Hours out of his day that he might make $20 on in ad revenue. Who knows?
Anything like that. Maybe this mysterious employee doesn't have a LinkedIn and just shares a name with that Ubisoft employee. What I expected to have happen versus what happened was very different.
No, I don't think they're going to use company emails. It's just that Proton tends to be... I would say Proton is a red flag, is all I'm saying. Because you can make as many Gmail accounts as you want. He could have contacted from a personal Gmail account, you know? Why does anyone believe in any leak or not from a woke studio? The chances of it being a real dev trolling is going to be high. If you get... That's the thing, too, that I think a lot of people were very, very concerned about with a lot of like the rumors coming out about Hollywood and Star Wars and Lucasfilm over the past few years. Like, the easiest way for them to discredit their detractors is to put fake leaks out there, right? That's the easiest. That's like, you know, I can't think of the word off the top of my head right now because my brain's fried, but you get what I'm saying.
expected Smash JT to ask for proof, and I would not have provided it to him. I would have reported what I had found. An example of proof like this, like I got from former Firewalk employees, and that's often in corroboration with other facts. That might be, okay, is this coming from an account on X that's been around for 10 years and it obviously says what this person does? However, I was very surprised that the threshold of this was simply send an email, no questions asked. And then shortly after this, Smash had an article out, as well as a video, and I post this on X. None of this is reality, and I know this because I am the leaker. See attached. And the attached is the email I sent to Smash JT, of course, with the personal information of the name I use redacted. And this has garnered a whole lot of conversation. Smash eventually responded with another video, and Smash took a little bit of extra effort in his video to make sure that he had my full name and the city I lived in within the video. I think I had some old accounts tied in with my personal name, took a little bit of effort, but not much, but he made sure to post it. But hey, my stuff should have been locked down better. Lesson learned. But do what you gotta do, Jeffrey. I know you said when you're mad at someone you lash out, and you definitely do. You shared a random Ubisoft employee's LinkedIn and portfolio information or something? That's working for a company that Smash actively wants to see fail. They don't need his help. They might do it on their own, but we'll see. Again, making assumptions based on nebulous information. And I apologize to the developer for that because I didn't take that into account in the social experiment. And it sucks that Smash posted your information in order to own me, or something. However, Smash is the one that shared his information with tens of thousands of people. This is what Smash said about vetting the insider initially.
My insider reached out to me, and while
Main reason Smash got a bump up was due to him being getting insider scoops. I know because that's what I found entertaining. His other content is meh. You know, to be honest, Remy, here's the problem. And this is why there'll be a lot of nights where I can look at my subscriber numbers dwindling or ad revenue getting down to where, you know, it's far less than it was 6 months ago, or any of those things that you can allow to get in the back of your brain and tell you that you're not doing a good job anymore. But the reality is sometimes the content farming, the content, creation side of things, there are so many topics that are worth covering and so many that are just meh, that are just, somebody else has already covered them. Somebody else has already talked about them. You already saw them for yourself on Twitter. So I think, unfortunately, from time to time, we all go through this where there'll be days where I used to listen to different podcasts and different videos all throughout the course of my workday, put my headphones on and just kept putting my head down and do my thing. And there have been a lot of days where I'm just like, I've already know all this same shit. I've already heard this 1,000 times, and I just put on my headphones and listen to music. So I get that sometimes not everything is going to speak to every person, because it happens to me all the time too. I totally get that. Let's see, he knows everything but did this reporting like your average Redditor. Yeah. Yeah, John, and I think that's the pressure to keep the subscriber number going up and the pressure to keep the ad revenue going up. Because again, if you treat it more like a business, and I don't know if he does have, because I'm not going to ask Smash personal details about his life like that. I might, like, down the road. I don't know if YouTube is his primary source of income at this point. So if it is, he might be sometimes feel a little bit of that anxiety to have a video, because he'll have videos that don't do well. He'll have videos that do like 15, 20, 30,000 views. And for his size of his channel, I'm sure that stresses him out, because he sees Endymion runs with information that God only knows if it's true or not. And he gets 130, 150, 200,000, views on a video. Sounds stressful, doesn't seem to be worth it for what's exposed. Most of it's just plain obvious, even if it's just a feeling. A lot of times it is, I think. Even people on Hypnotic's panel gave him good advice on what he could do better going forward. All his protestations basically boiled down to, but I won't be able to make as many vids that way. Well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying, Blu-ray. Hypnotic, and again, this is not shade at him, because if you're entertaining and you're also reporting the news, then people are going to listen to Hypnotic instead of somebody like me, or me instead of somebody like Smash, or Smash instead of somebody like Vera, or Vera instead of somebody like Rev Says Desu. You're going to have people that you enjoy listening to. And so when they cover the news, gaming, politics, pop culture, whatever, you're going to get your enjoyment from listening to them tell you about it. So there's nothing wrong with Hypnotic not, making the news or reporting on it, or actually doing the investigating. There's no shame there. It's just, there is a difference between, like I said, doing the investigative journalist side of it versus just reading it, So I wouldn't necessarily say, I wouldn't call anybody lazy. It's more about, it's the commentary versus the actual investigative side of it. Must have the laid back attitude to someone like him, but I step into areas where you can't have that attitude. I think that is fair. I think that that's a fair assessment. that when you do get to the nose to the grindstone side of you're the one now doing the investigating, you have to remember you can't just offer commentary if you are offering information as like you have insiders, if you have a scoop, you know, that kind of stuff.
I don't want to go into much detail. I will say I don't know this individual, but I have personally verified who they are by the name that they gave me and the credentials that they showed. So
this was simply a name and a role and some stuff that's incorrect in there. I mean, when you have a website that's dedicated to showing off people that includes some of the worst writers, editors, and others who have contributed to the downfall of game journalism over the years for various reasons, it's just wild to me that you would have such low standards. And this isn't just a gut you out of nowhere, it's watching a pattern. Like having significant gripes with mainstream journalism, and some of them may be legitimate, but to practice this and pass it off as...
Some of them might be legitimate. Oh my god. Yeah, this guy's Reddit brains. You're not even kidding about that. Let me see. Making videos can be hard. I've been working on a Tokyo PC building, but I've been stuck as it seems flat. No, and that's the thing too. It's like, for me personally, the hardest part of doing commentary videos is just finding the time. And then making sure that your thoughts make sense. And then it's like, because I don't ever, my videos, I tend to not like just to, oh, I'm just going to sit here for 7 minutes and read a article. Okay, that I want to add a little bit more to that. Whether it's this video, I'm going to add some gameplay footage. This video, I'm going to add some other sources. I'm going to talk about the big picture of this kind of thing. When I cover anything, I want it to be more than just reading an article. Unless it's an article I wrote, in which case, you know, then most of what I want to talk about is in there. But yeah, even making videos just with commentary, reading someone else's article can be difficult, can be stressful, especially if you're trying to make it as interesting as possible, because you want to keep viewers interested. You don't just want to make an 8-minute video and have people tune out after 2.5 minutes. Someone that's bad at games is Smash is making so much money that every game journalist. Is he bad at video games? I've never seen Smash play a video game. Is he really bad at it?
Journalism is just wild, or not to at least hold yourself to that same standard, or what standard you would like to see. And sure, you could say, this isn't journalism, I'm just talking about a rumor with my friends. But the end result is closer to tabloid journalism for gaming. And that's alright, but we gotta talk about the obvious. Does he want mainstream media to disappear and be replaced by him with those same standards? In this case, probably lower. Make it make sense. Do they want him to have the exact same politics as him in every case? What is it? And if you don't want a standard in journalism, that's all right too. Do what you want, man. It's working out good. But it's tough to take your criticisms around mainstream media seriously.
Smash doesn't really get into politics. That's fairly strange. Like, I can't recall him ever really, in any of his videos covering this stuff, really diving heavily into politics. I mean, sure, he voted for Trump. He uses, like, Trump stuff in some of his video intros, I think. I'm pretty sure. But Smash doesn't care what politics people have. He's not Gary level, but are we talking about Nerdrotic? Ironically, I haven't watched a Nerdrotic video in probably 6 months. I go through these weird phases where I haven't watched a single Papa Gundam video in like a year. I haven't watched Nerdrotic. I don't watch Geeks and Gamers. No shade to them, but I just don't. There's a lot of content creators who I used to watch that I just don't really get into. Growing old sucks. God, you got that right. Dude, I tried playing Apex Legends with my kids, and I have to bust my ass to not be the worst one on the team, okay? It's absolutely insane. And not to mention, that game is garbage. The game started off fine until it went super woke and gay, and now it's like, if I play a game like a good shooter game, even games that have some recoil to the weapons, I can drop in right now. I could drop what I'm doing, start playing Insurgency, PvP, and I would be in the top 3 on the team if we're just doing like PvP, any game mode, doesn't matter. But I play Apex Legends, and none of the guns work properly. They're all retarded. So aging is hard enough without them making it harder, you know?
Seriously, when this type of behavior demonstrates that you're no better than them. And come on, man, the only thing hurt was your pride a little bit. I heard you made over $1,800 in donations talking about me, and that's awesome, man. Get your money, homie. Lots of it around for everybody. Nothing I say or do is going to change that, and that's not my goal. It was part of my wider investigation into yellow gaming journalism. I think in 2025, journalism has gotten a lot better because people like you and me are doing it. It's brought up interesting conversation and lots of different opinions. And you'd be lying to yourself if you thought my investigations were not thorough.
Part of his wider investigation into gaming journalism. So he's gotten one person from Concord who spoke to him. I assume debunking this professor character from Firewalk Studios, right? Then you've got Grums, Andy Pants, Grums. That's his contribution to gaming journalism. Got a rant about Red Dead, the biggest secret in Starfield, a 2-minute video. The sad unknown tale of Lyle Morgan. So when did he wake up and decide that he was a journalist? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think it's implying since he roast covers people on the left demo and these people post he's political. Khalif, he worked as a community manager on Concord. Wait, Khalif Adams worked as a community manager on Concord? How did I never know that? Nerdrotic has a strong understanding of nerdy media encyclopedia. Oh no, Nerdrotic is 100% a nerd. He is a full-fledged, without a question, nerd. I love that we cut from him talking about his serious investigation into gaming journalism to a thumbnail going Grum's cuck sim. Yeah, dude, honestly. Hey, Rabnad, how's it going, dude? That's my entire point. He's trying to sell himself as some sort of ethics and journalism guy. He's got a hard-on for Grums, too, which is hilarious because I don't even like Grums. I don't trust Grums. I feel the same way about Grums that I do about Elon Musk. Sure, you do some good work. You point out some things. Look, Grums was the canary in the coal mine for Starfield, okay? Then Starfield came out, and people were like, oh god, the pronouns in the game. Then they actually played the game, and most of us, I'm going to speak for the majority, played Starfield, and it either ran poorly and you had to install it to your M2, your SSD, and okay, now it runs great, but now it's still boring. I think that's the situation most people found themselves in, was the game just wasn't interesting, right? I watched Hypnotic cover a Khalif Adams video once, and the guy's aggressively low IQ. Yeah. He bragged about it. I didn't... Man, maybe I've slept since then. Sensationalist review of sensationalism and journalism, no irony detected. Wall filled with action figures. I currently, you guys can't see, but my action figures that I have on my desk. I've got a few. My desk is a hodgepodge collection of crap, right? I've got the Cirilla from Witcher 3. I got this bastard here. Big dude. He's pretty cool. I don't have Geralt yet. I really need to pick up Geralt. But I got the dude from the Wild Hunt. Then, of course, you can't go without Master Chief, who I've had for probably... God, I've had this one since I was a teenager. And recently, when we were doing Christmas shopping, I picked up the Breath of the Wild Link. Because why the hell not? That's it. Those are my action figures. I've got them chilling. Believe it or not, all of them right down here with Buddha. This little guy I've had since I was probably 13, 14, I don't know. I picked it up at one of those mineral stores that sell like crystals and shit just because I thought he looked cool. You've got Geralt? Damn it. I gotta pick up Geralt. Love when I sometimes get a post on timelines of Grums going, this is it. This is the moment we have fought for years. Titus. Oh, man. No, the theatrics, guys. The, I will say the theatrics side of Grums gets to be a bit much. It's, oh, God. Guys, have you seen, guys, we got to take a break from this retard for a second. Hang on. I need to find one. Because John Del Rose and his little buddy Yorch have just pissed me off to no end. And this one here, he has a bigger thing to say about it. Anyways, he put out this tweet, Yorch did. They all start with gamers. Gamers, what do you think about this? Gamers, what do you think about that? Anybody, in my personal opinion, who starts a tweet with gamers tells me something. It tells me you're not an actual gamer. It tells me you're here looking for engagement. And of course, this tweet got 4.3 million views, only 457 likes. This is, again, rage bait. Yorch right here is doing rage bait, okay? This is all for Twitter monetization. If you want to know why John Del Rose posts the shit that he posts on Twitter, it's for rage bait. Gamers, should women be banned from game development? Now, the no's have it at 56%. But ironically, what he leaves out of this is that, first of all, if you're a woman and you're coding and you're good at it, no one gives a crap if you're a woman or a man. If you're good at coding, you're good at coding, right? We need more people who are good at coding. But secondly, there are women involved in game development that do things beyond just making the game, and you kind of have to have women. What about female voice actors? Everything else. Now, I get it, game development. Maybe he's talking about the people who are doing the meat and potato side of it. But a completely retarded take by somebody, as we're talking about, ethics in journalism and yellow journalism and shit like that. We have retards like this on Twitter posting this kind of rage bait. It just cracks me up. I'm like, if McDizzle wants to go after a JDA, go after Yorch, have at it. Go ahead, go for it. 3 or 4 months ago, he was being a major gooner. Oh, Blu-ray, you're not wrong. I'm sure that you could probably dig up a hell of a lot of stuff on there. You do actually love it. You're not being snarky, just like Andy Pants is such a meme that's funnier than anything intentional I see in this space. It's the Twitter version of YouTube clickbait is all it is, right? Yes, Meg, I have him and JDA both muted. Imagine reading everyone's thoughts on everything. I have them muted because I don't want to see that shit.
Detailed investigations into Ember have proved that. Here's my reaction to some key points that Smash made in his video. I've linked his full video in the description. Maybe I'll do a live stream going over the whole thing.
And sometimes there'll be bad eggs in the community that try their best to knock people down a peg, especially when those people are showing that they're successful and doing better than they are. So it typically boils down to jealousy, trying to be explained away like, oh no, I'm just trying to prove that you are just a grifter. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Apparently, this person by the name of McDizzle or McDrizzle, I don't even know. This person was trying to troll me, and I guess congratulations, you did like successfully troll me with this email that you sent me from a person that works at Ubisoft, or so I thought, because the email that you went above and beyond, like props to you, credit all the way.
You're the only one who's mentioned the word grifter or anything to do with grifting. This was not elaborate at all, it just had a name and a role. You would really struggle to find anyone to say that will meet the threshold for reporting inside.
Wait, did Smash say grifter? He said troll. I'm not gonna go back and play it, but I don't remember Smash saying grifter in there. Maybe he did.
Information. In fact, with some made-up stuff in there, nothing linked, just a name and a role. That threshold he determines as elaborate is insufficient for most people that report on gaming news. And you went ahead and shared that developer's information to tens of thousands of people about a game that you've made piles of content on actively wanting it to fail. A lot of it based on questions.
Okay, so the thing is, people have made a comment about how, oh, Smash doxed him in this video. And then McDizzle came out and said, oh no, he didn't actually dox me. My name was attached to an account, so I overreacted to that or whatever he said. So McDizzle comes out and says, no, he didn't dox me. I should have been more careful about my information, right? You think he said grifter, but I also thought this guy did, maybe not through. I'm not going to go back and play it. I don't care. Then as far as that goes, you can legitimately find any of these people who works at Ubisoft LinkedIn profiles openly. That most of these profiles, even if they don't have much information on them, are public. So I don't know, showing some Ubisoft's employees LinkedIn to show that this guy was basically impersonating somebody else isn't like some sort of scummy, awful thing. Am I wrong? We go over people's LinkedIn posts all the time on videos. We talk about things that they've said on LinkedIn, connections they have to other people, places that they've worked, places they went to school, things that they are ideologically possessed because of activism that they've done in their own personal time. That's all information that people publicly put on LinkedIn. I don't understand how Smash showing the person that he was impersonating LinkedIn when it's public information is something nefarious. Maybe he thinks, oh, now people are going to go harass this guy. Why would they go harass that guy? You're the guy that was impersonating him. I don't know. This guy, I feel like he's just stretching as much of this as he possibly can to get his 27 minutes of view time, Maybe that's all it is.
Questionable rumors. I sent them no LinkedIn profile. I didn't share that information with masses of people, nor did I have the intention of doing that. But I know Smash did. The thing is that the only research is a name and a role. It sounds like you want to believe it versus is it legitimate? Like, I can't wrap my head around making a video to a huge audience saying a game is going to be delayed based on a random email. Wouldn't it go through your mind that this could be anyone? And do you think there's a pretty good chance that a lot of your leaks have been fake? I would suspect so based on this vetting procedure.
It is what it is, but I look at the situation as, hey, it's a learning experience for me. I'm going to try to be better. But trying to say that, oh, this just proves that you're no different than mainstream media, I'm like, okay, here's the thing. Would mainstream media do this? Would they say, hey, I got this was a troll job?
If mainstream media could effectively monetize it like you were doing, they would. Hey, no one's perfect. You make mistakes,
If mainstream media could monetize it like mainstream media does monetize it, jackass. That's what ad revenue is. Oh my god. How is there 13 more minutes of this shit? All right, we're at 14 minutes and 14 seconds. 14. So in here, he puts Fratanga. You got Fratanga over here, who's been pretty critical of Smash, even though he outwardly says he kind of likes Smash, but he's definitely been going after him. And then Sid Alpha, who is always bitching and moaning on Twitter. If you don't know who Sid Alpha is, he's a YouTuber. I think he's got like 130,000 subscribers. He's always complaining about how he can't get around to making videos and how basically, if there's anybody who acts like they're jealous of other YouTubers, it's Sid Alpha. And he talks about how he's more ethical and how he does the right thing and how he's Sid Alpha is one of these guys who he rightfully criticizes Grums all the time, but he spends his days when he's tweeting bitching about other people instead of actually making YouTube videos. It's insane, right? Such a self-report. IGN Wukong's hit piece was completely unsubstantiated. Again, just believe my words. That's all these insiders are fake. Yeah. So that's why I asked Smash. So that's why I asked him, like, if for people who are saying that you've been wrong multiple times over and over and over again, what are they talking about? What are they just grasping at straws? Is there anything verifiable that you reported on that has come out to be fake? And he's like, no, this is the one thing. So when I asked him about that, that was his response. So I don't understand. I don't feel like subjecting any of us to the rest of this video. We've gotten through the leak side of it. Let's pick up after Smash right here. K-Med climbs. K-Med. Oh. That guy, K-Med, isn't he that angry Boston guy who he can't say a single word on Twitter without dropping the F-bomb, like F this, F that? Like, and I put a tweet at one time, I responded, I'm like, you seem really angry. And he's like, oh, I'm not angry. I'm just from Boston. This is how we talk. I think that's the guy you're talking about. Guy seems completely unhinged.
Hints at compassion and understanding. The reality is I got a bunch of angry smashers after me. And when I say after me, just lots of nasty comments, maybe some messages. I'm not going to hold Smash accountable for the transgression of his upset audience. Like this one, Omar, you know which side of the religious fence he bats for. Hateful people, I hate to break it to you. I'm not Muslim. In fact, I'm also half white. Sorry to disappoint you that I'm just a mutt and I'm not a pureblood like y'all. It's interesting to see that I'm deluded and crave attention, and that I think by trying to take someone successful down, it props me up. Guess what? It doesn't.
From Cali?
I'm not trying to take anyone down. I can't take anyone down. But I am interested in great reporting. And I've been good at identifying these type of gaps in this specific space. Is that a bad thing? But genuinely curious, I wonder if he knows how aggressive some members of his audience are. And how he's able to reconcile that, you know, people are people. People are human, they make mistakes, versus having a website where you turn.
Is it just me, or is this like the worst gameplay footage you could ever watch in a video? Is this meant to make us feel stoned? I get it. Red Dead Redemption, fantastic game. A lot of people liked it. I've never played it myself. I just never got into it. Maybe one of these days I'll get around to it, right? Got a limited amount of time for games. But you're watching some guy on a jet ski or in a pickup truck driving through like the 1800s. Like, what? Strange that Sid Alpha never talked anything bad about Baldur's Gate 3. I don't even care if he liked or hated Baldur's Gate 3. What I care about Sid Alpha is he spends his days bitching and bitching and bitching about how, oh, I've got these health problems. I've got a family member with health problems. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. That's legit. We all have those things. Oh, no, you know, all these people making these videos. Okay, so you're a YouTuber. You've got a big channel. You've built it up to this point, but you spend your days lamenting how you can't get YouTube videos made. Oh, not my computer. Okay. Maybe it's just not in the cards for you, you know? I'm not going to hold Smash accountable for his audience, shows the most extreme messages. Yeah, I'm not trying to take anyone down. Right. Oh, the first game's great. The second one's a meme. Yes, I am the great reporting. Oh, you sent me the Khalif DM. Let me take a look here, and I'll see if I want to pull it up on stream or not.
target numerous people to hold them accountable, and the audience loves that. It even says if you're an enthusiast. I find that kind of funny. Kind of like I'm just a hobbyist hater. And that's the risk with the type of journalism that I have been doing. I will say it's not the best for the mental health, but them's the breaks. There's been a lot of support, there's been some hate as well though, and I do truly feel sorry for anyone that has to go through that. I'm just trying to get through life. I will say my stepfather just had pancreatic cancer surgery on Thursday, and I'm trying to guide my family through that and navigate through this as well. It is a bit overwhelming. And when I say navigate through this, protect my family, it's Smash shared my name with tens of thousands of people. But yeah, if you think about that being the human impact, I just don't want a bunch of crazy people coming at me. Who would want that? I'm just doing investigative journalism on how easy it is for leaks to get out there. But
oh my god. Was this guy contributing that I would be excited to watching gaming? You could go to McDizzle's older videos and see if there's anything worthwhile. Maybe he's got some good content about games, like, you know, scoops about details and shit. I don't know. Guy also posts like he just discovered YouTube yesterday. Are we talking about McDizzle or are we talking about freaking Sid Alpha? Because here's the thing, I follow Sid Alpha on Twitter. I don't think I follow him on YouTube. And the guy makes fair points from time to time. A lot of times it'll be objective. Oh, you know, see, this is why I don't do this, or this is why we should do that, blah, 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 blah. Then it'll be like rage posting about Grums or somebody he hates because his life is so miserable. And I'm like, dude. I'm just saying it to make you feel bad for me, but I'm just saying, yeah, nobody cares. At least, okay. Let me rephrase that. People who know McDizzle, people who are subscribed to McDizzle, people who are members of McDizzle, people who know him personally, those people care, right? So, saying it for a general open YouTube audience, you're telling this to the internet. You're not telling this to your friends, you're not telling this to your members, you're not telling this to your supporters and your followers, your subscribers, whatever. You're throwing this out there for the internet. You know that the most people who watch this video are going to be people who are not already your subscribers, and they're probably going to come into this thing pissed about what you did to Smash JT. I'm just watching it to see what he has to say for himself. This is not any sort of personal vendetta. I'm just curious how he explains what he did, right? And then you throw this in here like, oh, we've got all this stuff we're going through. Yeah, you know, we all go through shit. Okay? That'd be like me saying, don't be mad at me that I pretended to be somebody else and now I got the internet mad at me because my mom had thyroid cancer years ago. It's like, come on. Really?
But just as we talked about with yellow journalism often has a political angle to it. In this case, it's like everyone they hate is a leftist activist. Now, I can't speak to whether Smash said this, but I did see this in another video. Mentions of me being like a leftist, woke activist.
Yeah, we'll
hate to break it to you, but I'm probably more of a middling centrist. But we're always growing and learning,
because
right?
We're all human. Nobody's perfect. I'm not some giant corporation, some mega Fortune 500. I'm literally a dude in a shed making videos about the game industry, things that I find interesting, and things that insiders pass along to me. And for the most part, I've been pretty spot on with everything that's been sent to me up to this point.
I'd like to see how he's defining spot on. From my perspective, I've seen numerous gaps that just seem to be pushing a narrative. I mean, it's easy to give people confirmation, right?
And this is coming from someone, this McDizzle character, whatever, that has some sort of weird hard-on for hating on Grums. And apparently because I don't hate on Grums too, he then wanted to find a way to knock me down a notch. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's what you want to do.
We need a wholesome moment here. Hang on a second, guys. I don't know if you can see on the camera. I don't think you can. She's right out of reach. The cat, she decided to sprawl on the floor right here. She's, oh, there she is. Yeah, you can see her right here. Hey, Ivers, what you doing? Like, I'm not interested. Oh, man. The animals are telling me it's time to get ready for bed.
Although it was and is disappointing how dismissive you were around the various videos regarding the crowdfunding of Ember. That's about the only problem I have with you and your relationship.
The various videos. The man is using his own videos. Wait. Listen to this clown. Oh my god. This is like source trust me, bro.
I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's what you want to do. That's some people just do what they want to do. They play.
Although it was and is disappointing how dismissive you were around the various videos regarding the crowdfunding of Ember. That's about the only problem I have with you and your relationship with Grums.
But I'll say, like,
why don't you show Upper Echelon's video where he talked to Grums and he had his own thoughts on Grums and Ember? No, you share your own, you know, all of your posts on Twitter with your videos that nobody probably watched. Everything, all of this, and I get it. There's a fair amount of things in life, especially when it comes to YouTube and social media. You're going to promote yourself, right? I'm not here to promote some other channel. But this just feels like 27 minutes of this guy thumping his chest and saying how great he is, you know?
Like, I watched part of McDizzle's video. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was kind of turned off by it felt like he took the perspective of, I bought into this because it's a scam just to make this video to expose him. And I'm like, that it almost feels like you're like trying to find something to be mad about.
He also seems to like talking about scams, so I'm surprised he didn't want to talk about this one. JK, I'm not surprised at all.
I know for a fact that what he's doing is simply because he knows that the attention he can get is by being anti-Grums.
Yes.
I know, like as a YouTuber, he knows that. He knows that his claim to fame, granted, he's not really doing that well, even with the anti-Grum stuff, but he the most attention he's ever gotten was talking about Grums.
No hate, man. Just some general disappointment as a
And
gamer.
when I pair it with all the other information with what was going on with Ubisoft at this time, I'm like, yeah, even with this being a confirmed troll job, that still could happen.
Who knows? Maybe
His scoop is Nick's research material just from a different mouth about Grums. And see, Blur, here's the thing. I've listened to, like I said, I listened to Upper Echelon's video a few months back on his situation, his perspective on the entire Ember situation, how long it's taken to have any progress on the game, the amount of time Grum spends online, tweeting about they're saving gaming and stuff, but it's like he can't even get his own game demo finished. Like I said, I wouldn't give the man a dime if it was the last dime I had on Earth. There's no way I would part with it to give it to Grums, right? That being said, there's no question in my mind that McDizzle is literally like he's trying to farm content off this one guy. He wants to be the guy, you know? It probably will get delayed again, although I imagine maybe like, who even knows at this point? It could be a couple weeks, it could be another month. Who even knows?
maybe that's some foreshadowing. Look what allegedly happened to the BioWare one.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So, if anything, take it for what it's worth. The information that I present in the video was combined with other insights that I've gotten from other areas alongside what's transpiring right now at Ubisoft, which is a complete cluster shit show that is burning down as we watch. Like, it's happening in real time right now. So getting this email lined up exactly with everything else that I'd been seeing and hearing, and it just made sense. But he was claiming that I don't check my sources. I didn't even bother asking if it was him or anything like that. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter if I asked him for more information, because clearly if he was trolling, he would have come up with something else to push it around or say, oh, I'm skittish, I can't say anything here.
There's no evidence that I would have even responded if he would have requested more detail.
So, Remy, what would happen in the situation with a delay is they would probably offer refunds, but I doubt that they would automatically refund them. They'd probably be like, if you aren't willing to wait, you can get a refund, but they probably wouldn't automatically issue them. You probably have to request it. Yeah, he's like, oh, well, you don't know how I would respond. Okay. You went through the trouble of pretending to be somebody else already. I imagine he'd probably try to keep the ruse going. Let's be fair. This is not... God, I wish Smash wouldn't have run with that story. Can you imagine if Smash had just asked him for more evidence? Just asked him for more proof, which I think John has been alluding to is, you need two sources, right? Can you just imagine if he had actually said, well, before I go public with this, is there any other way that we can vet this information? We'd be having a whole different conversation right now. That's always a bad idea regarding that side of Grums, but what I do see is his voice has made ripple effects. Sure, but see, here's the way I look at it, Blu-ray. Elon Musk actually retweeted Grums a few times, right? Grums shares information, half the time stuff that he didn't even find, stuff that's been sent to him. Bigger accounts on Twitter have a very hard time actually giving credit to smaller accounts for information they find. That freaking Manga lawyer guy stole information from me. I've had people steal stuff that I've found and not give me credit, whatever. That being said, Elon retweets people like Grums. He'll retweet people like Mario Nafal, who's a notorious scam artist. And I just hate to see that the people who are supposedly like exposing corruption are also potentially corrupt themselves. It's an ugly situation, right? Smash is a moron. This is kind of long overdue. I think that's a bit harsh, but it's your opinion. That's okay. For sure he would have gone for as long as possible. And Smeg, we just don't know. Who knows? I don't know, Blur, but again, if you are supposed to be crowdfunding a game and you get the money you need for the game and you never produce the game, at that point, it's like there is a certain amount of dishonesty.
As this doesn't appear to be the first time that a fake leak has been passed to Smash JT. I didn't deviate from what the other person said they did, was just send him information and he runs with it.
Literally proved nothing except that, yeah, you tried to confirm a rumor by claiming that you're an insider, when at the end of the day, now we just have you trying to troll somebody on a rumor that is still, in my opinion, very likely to occur. So congratulations on getting an own.
See, I will say not the best defense, because what happens if it doesn't occur? I mean, it's kind of like that whole Schrodinger's cat thing. If you don't open the box, that's still alive and dead at the same time. You just don't know until you open the box, right? So Smash is trying to deflect and say, oh, if it still comes true, then it's a likely rumor anyways. So it's more plausible. I agree there. At this point, from what we've seen, there's a lot of plausible rumors that could come true, right? But like you're saying, hey, Endymion, hey, Grums, can you ask any of your Ubi sources if they heard about another delay? That's it. Although, to be honest, John, who's to say that other people don't have bad sources too? Like I've said before, when Endymion ran with the videos that he did talking about the child exploitation in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, running with bad articles, running with information like that corrosion tweet where the guy's like, oh, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm the investor who made the game gay, right? And then he shared that to Endymion and said, here's my list of accolades. I've been invited to game expos and stuff, so I know all these insiders. And then Endymion decided to run with it. It's like, dude, it was a troll tweet, and Endymion ran with the shit in his story. It's like, I feel like on some degree, I think McDizzle's a dick. And in other situations, I do feel like there needs to be, rumors are fine. Gossip is fine. That's human nature. People are naturally drawn to rumors. But maybe a little bit better job at vetting sources. Some way, somehow. Doing a little bit more, You don't like what he does with his eyes. I mean, everyone's got different mannerisms. That some rub people the wrong way. That's why, there's certain actors in Hollywood who I just can't stand. People that have the quote-unquote punchable faces. Endymion's like 26. I don't know. I have no idea how old Endymion is.
On me, if that's how you look at life, that's really pathetic and embarrassing, but hey.
I did this to demonstrate bad faith reporting in video game journalism, and how easy and not elaborate it is for it to happen. Smash sincerely, in this case there was many instances where at least I felt your reporting was inaccurate. It raised flags to me. The DMs that I received raised more flags, and exactly what those DMs said happened.
Different strokes for different folks. My concern now is there's going to be an influx of people that are going to be trying to do this to me, so I'm going to need to try to vet a lot harder.
I don't know what DMs McDizzle's talking about. Again, he says things in this video that he doesn't actually show, alludes to things that he doesn't even specify, so I'm not even sure what DMs he's talking about. He's talking about people that were hating on him. I'm not sure what that proves. Nobody actually cares if this is real or fake. People like to watch videos dunking on these companies. Oh, there is the reality to that. People will watch anything as long as they get to shit on AAA video game companies, right? Because we're all sick and tired of the slop, the microtransactions, the live service games, the games as a service as they call them now. We're all fed up with it. There's no question there. So people do have confirmation bias. People do go, oh, well, you know what? This gaming industry is in such bad shape now. It wouldn't surprise me if these rumors were true. It's a mixed bag. It's really tough. The race to get the info out first, 100% yep. If you do F up, admit it and move on. Shit happens. But to double and triple down like a lot of gamer journals isn't better. Yeah, it kind of feels like a boomer moment. I might mention that to him next time I talk to him.
And ignore.
Like, dude, you're kind of a boomer.
And that's really unfortunate.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's going to vet a lot harder. And I'll also say, no one else should do this. I'm reporting on it, and this is a one-time exclusive. I don't want Smash bombarded with fake reports. That's not the outcome I'm looking for. The outcome was information and education around bad faith journalism. Does he have so many insider leaks that he can't get to? That's wild. I think the fact is you need more than a name and a role at a company. Smash, this wasn't elaborate. It was just a name and a role.
Because now this breaks the trust that I had.
McDizzle forgot to put video there. And you know what? 27-minute video, that shit happens too. Respect people like Fratanga Plays who are actually calling out this BS. I respect what Fratanga is doing as far as like taking his own opinion and stance on it. Like, okay, for example, I did not back the Real Game Awards, even though I thought it was a good idea at the time. And then I saw the finished product and I'm like, well, that wasn't very good, to be honest. It wasn't great. And I do believe, so I watched the entire, hour-long Fratanga video going over the Real Game Awards. And there was substance there. There was definitely a lot of legitimate criticism there. because they had games in the running that weren't even from that year. So if you're trying to come across as a real Game Awards show, as an alternative to corporations and corporate slop, if you will, yeah, that's kind of a swing and a miss. So it does seem like maybe there was just not as much cohesion as they were going for. At the same time, I feel like Tenga might just be being a contrarian to be a contrarian now. And again, I don't know. Maybe he's being genuine. Who knows? He also found his tweet announcing being senior. Okay, cool. I think I saw that one. On Hypno Stream, there was a girl giving Smash good advice, and then Smash went, well, what if I did that? Do you know how many videos I wouldn't be able to make? I can't respect him all until he gets vocal cord. Asmongold has high production game. Asmongold does a game award? I didn't know that. Well, okay, but to be fair, I will give Tenga this. All of this comes down to a certain amount of drama grifting, right? Drama farming to a certain extent. Whether or not you're the one manufacturing the drama, whether you're just the one covering the drama, I mean, it's the internet, it's YouTube, it's Twitter. We're allowed to discuss things. That's the beautiful thing about it, is if you have an audience at all of any size, doesn't matter if it's 2 viewers or 20 or 2,000. OTK, you're right. I forgot about OTK. Does anybody actually watch OTK though? Because it's not something that I ever see clips of, like on the internet. I mean, the thing is, we're all here to discuss the drama. We're all here to kind of like dissect it and to have our own opinions on it. And guys, like, I respect that we've got different people that are always, sharing their opinions here. And I don't usually see anybody like attacking or dogpiling each other. So I respect that we can all have different opinions. Frid is always annoying, but I seem to agree with him half the time, to give you a generous guesstimate. Yeah, so Red Merlin, I was not aware of Tenga until about the last 6 months or so. And then I started noticing him like on Twitter and stuff. And recently I've found that I'm noticing his tweets a little bit more often. And in general, yeah, I'd say I probably agree with about half of his takes. Does that mean I trust him? No, but I don't really trust anybody. I've talked about this before, because I mean, look, guys, I was writing for Fandom Pulse. I was on Slack with John's writing group for Fandom Pulse, private DM groups with him and other content creators and all sorts of stuff. And at this point, I can't stand the son of a bit. So it's like, people change, people evolve, There's definitely always going to be like an ever-changing momentum in your life that's going to change the way that you see people and who you believe to be genuine and who you don't. And until you actually truly get to know somebody, which you never really get unless it's on like a personal level in real life with somebody, you're never really going to know who you can absolutely trust, which is why I've said before, my circle of trust online is damn near non-existent. There's not very many content creators or people that I talk to on Twitter that I trust without question, without fail,
With stuff that comes through on emails that I haven't been able to even keep up with myself, and I'm trying my best over here. And it's really unfortunate that something like this happens, that you need to now take a step back and be like, yep, now I can't give any credence to anybody, and now I'm going to be a little bit more gun shy when moving forward with stuff. So that's what they wanted. They wanted to knock me down. They wanted to bring me back down to earth and make me feel like I'm a nobody and that I suck and that I'm useless.
Lope, I don't even want to know what that, dude, I can tell you I don't have it because I don't even know what that is. Like, thank God I don't know. Holy shit, dude. You don't like Tenga or Smash? Hey, that's okay too. That's 100% okay. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. This is why, like I've said before, and I said this when I was talking to Smash on Saturday, and then Hypnotic joined, and he's like, well, I'd have you on Saturday Night Hypnosis, but you said that you don't like panel shows. And I'm like, I don't do well on panels. Either I feel awkward when I'm not the one talking, or I tend to monopolize the conversation because I like to interject. And then sometimes the topic, like somebody pointed out when I was on Smash's stream, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was Smeg, that when I was talking to Smash, once Leon and Hypnotic and Kata, and I like all those guys, but once they all got on, the conversation just kind of like derailed and it just completely went off the hinges, right? Went off the rails hardcore. And so it makes it really hard to stay on track in a conversation when you've got a lot of voices going. Because then you either have the people that are monopolizing the conversation and people who don't talk at all, or you have that where everybody's competing for attention. So Yeah, basically, maybe I just shot my one chance of being on Saturday Night Hypnosis all day hell, but it's fine. Like personally, when it comes to Friday Night Tights and Hypnocast and all those other ones that are, or Saturday Night Hypnosis, I don't tend to watch panel shows anyways. I will say the one great panel show that I heavily endorse because I am on it is over on Moxie Dame's channel. The final Sunday of every month, we do a Star Trek reading. And as somebody who grew up not a Trekkie, I find it fantastic. Leon and Kato were drunk. That didn't help. Oh, shit. I didn't know that they were both drunk. I knew Kato was, but he passed out.
And all that. I'm like, great. That's what you got.
Geez, man, I don't want to make you feel like that, and I'm really sorry if I did make you feel like that. I certainly hope you don't actually take these criticisms in any way that you feel like you're useless, etc., etc. Take this lesson and journey and learn from it. That's what I'm trying to do.
What's really sad...
That didn't sound... Okay, I know, Han Farah, you said that, you know, you didn't really care for Smash JT, or maybe somebody else said it. I can't remember who said that. But, or that you like for Tenga, maybe. But this McDizzle guy, when he says it like that, and he's like, oh, well, I really hope I didn't make you feel useless. It's like, this doesn't sound genuine, you know? I appreciate you thinking I'm grounded. I try to, even though I have strong opinions about serious things in life, when it comes to stuff that I am more willing to hear people out on, I want to make sure that I try to be objective, you know? Yeah, it sounds very insincere, is my biggest problem. Like, I can honestly watch the video, see where Smash screwed up, see where maybe he didn't do the best job owning it, but I get nothing but insincerity and, like, duplicity, if that's even the right word, from McDizzle. All right, Blu-ray, take it easy. Yeah, I'm almost out of here.
So I'll say is there's a lot of people in the community that I've seen that are cheering this on. That are like so excited.
The thing is, for me at least, it's the pattern I've been observing of poor reporting. And numerous other people notice that as well, so that should answer your question. And Smash, you have a whole website devoted to a gaming publication you don't like. You're also incredibly critical of gaming media, and there's nothing wrong with that. What would you do if this happened to Kotaku? And I'm always down for a conversation around what good journalism should be, what bad journalism should be. Media in 2025 has changed a lot.
See, what this McDizzle guy is missing out on is you don't get to be the person that embarrasses the other guy, makes him look like a fool, you know, sends him a fake email impersonating somebody else, potentially commits a crime. To what severity? Again, I think it depends on Canadian law, international law, and all that. If any crime was committed at all. And then turn around and say, I'd be happy to have a conversation about this stuff. Dude, this is where the channel size thing comes into effect. Maybe it shouldn't. But Smash, with his pride being hurt, and being embarrassed by this thing, rightfully so, he's not going to then take the person who put him like on display in front of the whole world like this and be like, sure, let's sit down and have a conversation. Like, dude, come on. Like, get the hell over yourself, man. Yeah, tribalism for sure. People need to be able to take criticism. Brain feels like it's solidifying. Dude, Oblivion, I've had a hell of a day. I mentioned earlier, I got to work, and my computer at work won't turn on. It's got the blue screen of death where nothing will fix. No, I can't fix it. So I have to bring a backup computer I have from here, my wife's old computer, to work tomorrow, to try to be able to just print labels and print stuff on my computer. And I was at work for 4 hours trying to get this computer working. My stomach was killing me. My head was killing me. I can't tell if I'm getting sick or not. So I eventually drove home with a splitting headache. Came home early. I laid on the couch for like 2 hours. Finally had dinner. That didn't settle well. And eventually I get down. I'm like, okay, it's 9 o'clock. Are we streaming tonight or what are we doing, you know? So I feel you're there as far as the brain solidifying, like everything today. This has been the Mondayest of Mondays that I've had in a long time.
So I tend to get my news and information from YouTube and X. I do think gaming publications like IGN and Kotaku are really losing relevancy and eventually might be gone. And this activity was meant to investigate YouTubers that provide information using very nebulous information, especially when they're hypercritical of the institution that they want to replace and are replacing. Yet all it took was a name and a role and a bunch of made up stuff to convince a YouTuber with over 100,000 subscribers that, hey, I heard this from an insider. And it demonstrates that people will believe just about anything if it confirms their bias.
That they got and own. And two, these people...
Now, that's true, but we already all know that. Everybody knows that we all, as human beings, have confirmation bias. So again, unless the intent is to discredit independent journalism, YouTuber journalism, whatever, which this guy claims he doesn't want to do because he wants to be a YouTuber journalist, it doesn't make sense to me that you would go to the extent to try to pretend to be somebody else to just discredit one guy because you want to help independent journalists. That doesn't make any sense.
Couldn't wait to get an own on me. And I'm like, why? What is it? What is it about me that you just want to bring me down? Like, genuinely, what is it? Is it just you don't like seeing people be successful in this world? Is it you don't want me to grow the channel because you feel like you're not amounting to anything in your life? Like, it's really sad. Like, I was reading through all the replies.
You're gonna be successful. There's nothing I can do to change that. And if we're saying successful, I'm measuring that by money and clicks. Money's a good one. That's a decent way to measure success in a lot of cases anyways. Like, you all seem happy. I'm not trying to take it from you. You have skills and you're trying to leverage them. I have skills. I'm trying to leverage them. I think if this reporting was about anyone else, you likely would be celebrating it. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. This will do a couple things. This will help your channel grow. You'll do the diligence to maybe appeal to a wider audience in the future. And it brings up the valuable question, should journalists ideally have some form of skill checks? You may agree or disagree.
Should journalists have a form of skill checks? Oh my god. Dude, I'm telling you, he got this script right from Alyssa Mercante. Holy crap. He is the great reporting, so he is the indie journal he's helping, right? What dude is ignoring is that he's standing up for that one journal that got embarrassed by Gigabear and Gums for the same thing. Yeah, he never mentions the fact that Nick Calandra ran with Gigabear's fake story that he fed him and got his ass embarrassed. Now look, if everything's being equal, then Smash has to take his lumps the same way that Nick Calandra did. But I don't see McDizzle out here calling out Nick Calandra. He's using him as like some sort of like pillar of ethics in journalism.
Disagree, but there is a heavy case that they should. And currently, those skill checks are the community. One example, going back to my investigation around Ember by Grums. If my information was incorrect, people would have been calling me out. And I'm happy to correct anything if that's the case, but that's not the case. In fact, anti-woke people started covering this. It's important.
You actually, Oblivion, you're 100% right. Here's what he should have done. He should have created, just again, if you want to test whether or not somebody can do investigative work, he should have actually made a fake LinkedIn, create a fake person. Dude, even use like an AI profile. Don't do a John Della Rose and steal a real person's picture. You know, create a fake LinkedIn account, create a persona, and then that person can claim that they work at Ubisoft or whatever, and then see if Smash is even going to do the basic necessary investigative work to verify that that person works at Ubisoft. Impersonating somebody else? Yeah, John was saying earlier, use two sources. Verify what you hear with other sources, then that makes sense as far as like vetting your sources and then verifying from multiple sources. That is the most obvious logical way to not have these kind of things come up. But this man impersonated somebody else. So if he somehow went further and deeper to steal more of this guy's information, to use as a cover story to verify or to build up this personality, this stolen identity that he used, who's to say that he would not have taken it further? He's like, well, how do you know I would have? Well, we don't know that you wouldn't have. Because I'm not seeing much integrity coming from this McDizzle guy either, to be honest.
Important for combating misinformation and identifying areas of improvement, as well as generally maintaining quality journalism, as these type of checks can help journalists meet a certain standard of reporting, which is crucial for public trust in the media. This was a social experiment and a fascinating one at that. Now, Smash. I understand why you'd be frustrated, but I am glad that the end result is that you're going to put more effort into the vetting process. And that's honestly the best news for anyone, because we'll get the most accurate reporting from Smash.
And they're like, oh my god, you legend, you totally trolled him, you got him. I'm just like, what was the point of all this? I don't get it. I'm genuinely confused. All this does is set back everything, but it is what it is.
Giving some peeks behind the curtain is not setting everything back by any means.
Pretend to be JT with permission to reach out to Dizzle. Oh, hell
That's
no.
a good thing. The fact is, not many people would think that the due diligence would be that, hey, anybody could have sent this. And just because it sounds like it could be right seems like a wild reason to publish it. It's weird that these leakers aren't going to Asmongold and other folks, right? Smash, I hope you appreciated this activity, and I'm always available to chat about it. It showed that the burden of proof simply just needs to be a name and a role. And this, folks, is what I think is fascinating journalism. I think it's incredibly valuable insight, and love me or hate me, I hope you found it interesting. But I think it was important for us all to get a little sneak behind the curtain. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed.
I don't even know. Like, that was like 27 minutes of my life I wish I had back at this point. Yeah, social experiment is as good as it's just a prank, bro. Oh, all drama is pointless, Oblivion. That's not the point. Like, I genuinely just don't know. I don't get it. Other than purely, again, I want to get an own over this guy and show that he's just an idiot. Like, if his opinion is that Smash is an idiot, okay, fair enough. That's his opinion, right? To try to claim that this was some sort of like moral, ethical thing that he did, I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't get it. It just seems like somebody who's butthurt because of the fact that all of his content in the last 6 months has been like hate boners for other people, right? It just doesn't seem to be authentic. Doesn't seem genuine. So, well, that was not quite the response I was expecting. I thought that he might actually have a little bit more in there for 27 minutes of footage. There just wasn't much worth taking away from that, unfortunately. Yeah, no, it would be funny to troll the troll, but to be honest, I don't really even care. I think at this point, this is the kind of person who he's probably going to become irrelevant, just due to the fact that, like I said, a lot of his content seems to be just in the way that Fratanga has done it, where he's calling out the anti-woke grifter kind of people, but instead where he's making it more like a movement thing. This dude is going after specific people. And I just don't think that that has the longevity. But who knows? I could be wrong. All right, guys, I'm going to hit the hay. I need some sleep. I'm hoping to wake up in a better place mentally tomorrow, feeling better. Because I got so much crap to figure out now. I got to figure out replacing my work computer long term. And so I was not ready to buy another computer right now. So I don't want to take my computer that I use for streaming to work because I don't want to have to spend thousands of dollars on a new computer. This is not the time to have to do that. That's just not ideal in my opinion. But hey, I appreciate you guys hanging. It was fun to get some different opinions on this, especially given that I don't want to be too close to this to not be able to be objective about Smash and again running with this kind of information. We need to be objective, even if it's people that we like, you know. Or if it's somebody you don't like, we need to be objective and say, hey, whether this was an own or not, you know. All right, yeah, hey guys, I appreciate all you guys sharing your opinions. I'm going to catch you guys probably tomorrow. I'm probably going to stream my midweek game tomorrow night, play some Atomic Heart, and then maybe Friday we'll get back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.